Hey everyone, welcome to another week of Synth Geekery, episode 291, streaming live from Perth in Western Australia. It's about 9 p.m. here, our time, so I hope you guys are having good morning, a good midday or a good evening like we are over here. And let us know where you're from. If you're new, jump into the live stream chat. We're streaming on Trovo and Twitch and YouTube at the moment. There's no TikTok for some reason still. We're still trying to sort that one out through Streamlabs. There seems to be some sort of glitch with it. But anyway, we'll get through that. What else we got? We got the video guests as usual, the usual suspects. We got Daren, wave Daren, Andy. Hi Andy. Ian below me and Chris. And then we've got the chatties in the corner. Don't forget guys, there is a way to get onto the show if you want to, which is through Zoom. You can click on the link that's in the chat pinned at the moment, bit.ly/Ranzee Zoom. If you ever do forget, in chat you can type in ! See if it works actually. Zoom. See if I can get it to work. ! Zoom. Enter. See if that works. Not working. There should be a chatbot working anyway. I don't know if the chatbot, is it connected? Nah, it's offline. Why is it offline? Why is chatbot offline?
It's technology for you.
Yeah.
Tariffs.
Yeah, it's been tariffed.
That's why the commands are not working, because the chatbot is offline. Maybe I should I restart this? I don't know. Get online, you little bugger. I updated it today. I wonder if that's any reason for it.
That's it. Updates.
Yeah, there you go. Updates. Don't do updates.
Let's have a look here. YouTube, connect. There we go.
World needs to do one of them, an update.
There we go. It's online now. It's online. Here we go. Let's try the command again. Oh, there we go. Try it again. Yep. Works straight away. Cool. So you just exclamation mark Zoom, and it will remind you what the command, what the link is to Zoom. So we got through that. Look at that. It's like spamming the channel at the moment. Jeez, settle down, bot. Right. We have a pretty decent show, guys. So let's get stuck into it. We've got our regular segments, funny side with a whole bunch of memes in there. We've got news, and there's a whole bunch of products in there. And we've also got some used gear that we're going to go through in Price Watch. And there's also a quiz. So don't worry. But this week, people have been whinging that I've been starting the quiz too late. So why don't we start the quiz now? Indeed. We're going to start the quiz right now. And then your first clue is voice drift. There you go. Do you want me to show you again? Voice drift, and didn't it drift off like that? Look at that. Voice drift is your first clue. So enjoy that. This one's going to be a doozy this week. Hope you guys enjoy.
Oh yeah, because you're going to get people saying you put it on too early this time.
Yeah, exactly.
You just can't win, Daren. See what I mean? No matter what you do.
I don't know. Voice drift sounds like marketing speak to me. This is going to be a trouble one again.
Oh, no trouble and little. Anyway, guys. Let's just go through a tiny little bit of housekeeping. So you guys must understand that this is a free show that all of us volunteer our time for. So I think at the very, very least, it'd be nice if you guys can, like the stream, click like, maybe subscribe. At least don't do it just for me. Do it for Chris. He's a nice guy. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Just do it for Chris.
Guys. This guy.
There are some benefits being a Patreon or channel member. So the links for the links to join the channel in YouTube is straight below. You can see the join button if you're not a member already. But you can see in chat people who are members, because they've got the little Synth Geekery logo next to their name, and the little colours are different sort of ages of how long they've been members for, if you're wondering. But during the show, you can do super chats if you like, or if you want to, you could do a TTS. And you probably notice that in the chat bot every now and then, it actually does show you the TTS or text to speech thing. And to do the TTS, we just go to this one. I think it is this one. Yep. So you just click on the link and it takes you to this page, and you can just fill out your username here. It could be Ranzee, and you select how much you want to donate. Now, donations through Streamlabs TTS, they only take 3%, whereas YouTube's super chats, they take 30%. So don't let it sort of sway you. Donations anyway is good for us. But the good thing about this is you can have animated GIFs, and you can write whatever you want. don't even have to put your username in there. You could put, I'm a cool guy that plays CS80, or I'm the cool CS80 guy. Whatever, right? So you guys can put whatever you like in there. That's the cool thing about it. Anyway, and those will show up on the show as a graphic across, and it will just interrupt us, and it will read what you've written in your message. So TTSs are cool. Get onto them, guys. It's fun. Yes, it does open up a little browser window. You've got to go off the stream a little bit and do that. It only takes you a couple of seconds. So do that. Now, new thing that I set up a couple of weeks ago, and I just haven't had a chance to tell you guys about it, is merch. Merch. Yep. And Chris has been sort of helping me with it. It's been a while now since we've had this going. But anyway, we'll go across to the merch store. I'll give you guys a link to the merch store in a second in the chat. So the merch is, I think it's just, what is it? Ranzee-shop.fourthwall.com or something like that. But anyway, we'll give you a link to it. We'll make it easier for you guys. Anyway, so there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. There's the Synth Geekery mug. That looks pretty cool. Synth Geekery shirt. Yay. There's the Under Armour version, because you guys noticed that I always wear Under Armour shirts. So there's a standard polo. There's a hoodie. There's a t-shirt. There's a mouse pad, a desk mat. Sorry. And there's a couple of cool mugs here, like throw your synth at the screen. Pretty cool. So I've been busy with the designs. Don't know if I'm going to get in trouble with this one, but we'll see how we go. There's the Synth Lord mug. Might get in trouble with a certain company. But let's get those out for now anyway. There's a hat.
Better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you got up to Disney for that one right there.
That one's embroidered, so that one looks pretty cool. So you get onto those while you can. Anyway, so yeah, merch store. I'll go across to here, and I'll chuck the link in the chat for you guys right now, so you guys can paste it into your favorites and check it out. Obviously, all the proceeds to the merch store go to the show and keep it all sort of afloat and all that sort of stuff. So there you go. And if you want to, if you forget the link to the merch, you can go !merch as a command in chat, and it will send you the link. Isn't that cool?
Fantastic.
Let the machines do the work.
Let the AI just take over the world. Speaking of AI, why don't we look at this section? Not really AI, is it? Completely unrelated segue. But Hans Zimmer is actually laughing at you because he has got more synths than you ever will. Actually, I had a little bit of a giggle when I saw that. I thought, that's actually funnier than what you guys thought it was. There you go. There you go. How's that? Is that better? He's laughing even more now. Dearie me. By the way, Zoom is open, guys, so do join it. There's no crazy man in there. Next, what else we got? We got this one. I think it'd be cool to own a vintage synthesizer like the ones I've heard one of my favorite albums. What do you think? Looking at that's Junkie, isn't it? Junkie XL.
No, it's Espencraft.
Oh, Espencraft. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Geez, that was sorry. I shouldn't. That was
Mr.
a bad
Scam guy.
That was a bad.
Oh yeah. I've forgotten all about him.
Oh, okay. They look similar. Next, let's go to this one. This one was sent in by Keith. So, tell me about your dreams. I want to have $1 million synth collection like my dad. So your dad is a millionaire? No, he also wants $1 million synth collection.
Yes. That's what Rant secretly wants.
It is. and just like continuously paying off our credit card debts. Isn't that amazing? This one here will do, speaking of modulation, when she finds out that you actually use a carrier and 2 sidebands at the modulation frequency to have output wave of your filter to be distorted. Oh, she's impressed. She's impressed. Impress your girlfriends, guys. That's how you do it. There's this, and I thought this was quite timely. I'm starting to get the hang of the NASDAQ, this wavetable synthesis stuff. Paint that into your little synth, guys. Listen to it crash. Listen to it crash. Oh, there's this.
Should replace it with a Christmas tree. The standard drum sound waveform there.
Well, there's also this one. World's largest Volca jam. Yes. Extraction or insertion. I'm not sure which one is happening right now, but one of them.
Beginning or the end?
Yes. Hopefully.
Pictures making the rounds big time.
Hopefully there is some Vaseline as well. Right, let's start the poll. The poll has hit the chat. Hopefully that worked. Did that work? Hey! Exclamation mark. Vote, space, and the number that corresponds to your favorite meme. Hans Zimmer is 0. I put Junkie, sorry about that. Espen, it should be, is 1. We'll call it Junkie Espen. 2 is Millions. 3 is Modulation with the girlfriend. 4 is NASDAQ. And 5 is Volca Jam. Exclamation mark. Vote, space, the number. And look at the votes coming in already. Yep, indeed. Here they come. Let's just get that one off, shall we? Because it's annoying. And as the votes come through, I'll let you guys vote for a little bit. You guys can vote for a little bit. Why don't we head into news while we're waiting for the votes, eh? I think it's a good idea. If you get to join us on Zoom, if you feel like it, there's 3 spots there that you can react with us with the news items. And starting, geez, my talking's not working well today. Who would have thought? Starting with the Baloran 3B, or they also call this the BumBleBee. This is a really interesting product. And when I stumbled across it, I thought, I wonder how these guys are going to react when I show it. It's an innovative synthesizer, sequencer, and MIDI controller. I actually kind of thought of you, Andy, a little bit when I was kind of reading through and watching the videos of this. So basically how it works is it uses 3D laser IR sensor and hand movements into musical expression, and it precisely captures the position and distance of your hand, allowing for a theremin-like control. With enhanced accuracy and repeatability, it's available, as you can see, this photo here shows you that it's in a eurorack format. You can also get it in a desktop format as well. There's quite a lot of features and things with this, but what I thought I'd do is... Oh, cool. Something just popped in. What was that?
I am the cool guy that plays the Akai Tamba wolf. Wolf, wolf emoji.
Fair enough. That was interesting. That was a text-to-speech, guys. Nice. Awesome.
If you play the timbre wolf, you don't have to claim how cool you are. You just are. So
yeah, you just are.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get videos happening. Let's get PD. Right. We want to go 3 and here.
the dog is disinterested.
Yeah.
He probably can't hear it.
Oh, he's got on a wooden speaker there.
Oh, he's got that nice Erica module. There we go. Indeed, indeed. Let's go back to here. So that's the BumBleBee, or 3B if you want to call it. So a couple of things I thought I'd mention about it, which may not have really sort of shown on the video. In the middle, you can see that circle, and it's black at the moment, but when you turn it on, it comes up with a graphic. You can actually select a bunch of different modes this thing's got. So it offers, they're kind of like height modes. It's kind of to do with the height of your hands and the proximity to the sensors. So for example, one of the modes is called like theremin, so you can play it like a theremin. There's a selected semitone mode, a range note mode, microtonal mode, a multi-sequencer mode, and an expression envelope mode, and a morphing LFO, so you can use it as an LFO type modulation thing as well. It's got a digital audio generator, as you heard. It's got a built-in 16-bit 96K audio generator, which generates a 4-voice polyphony. Now, the 4-voice polyphony thing is kind of there so that we don't have notes that sort of get cut off. So it's kind of like the strumming thing that we were talking about before with rings and stuff like that. That's what the 4 voices are for, not necessarily so you can play chords. And the oscillators include a classic standard fixed waveform or variable waves and even wave tables. There's a multi-mode filter that offers the resonant type filters that offer the Moog 24 dB or the OTA 12 dB. And there's low pass, band pass, high pass modes with it as well. And you can control the filter by the sensors or via knobs, there's knobs there, or via CV input. So this thing's a real kind of, multitude of ways to control. There's envelopes for each generator. Now I'll tell you about the generators. Remember how I mentioned before that there's a digital audio generator which has 4 voices of polyphony. There are actually, there's a number of generators. I forget the number of them. There's actually a number of them. Where did I write that down? I can't find it right now, but there is actually like a quantity of generators. And where was I going with the generator thing? They then give you the ability to control the different types of sounds and stuff. Now inside the generators, you do have the integrated sequencer, which is in that central window that you can see, and you can create patterns and transposing things. For example, you can select from a bunch of different types of sequences like selected semitone, range, note, microtonal, which I mentioned before. And these can also be saved as presets onto the SD card. What else can I tell you? It's MIDI and MPE compatible, so you can control external gear with this as well as what it can generate in itself as well. So $432 for the euros. 432 euros. Got to be careful now when we say dollars and euros and stuff now, because it's all going to be all out of whack.
They're getting further apart.
Yeah, they're getting further apart. So 432
Depends on
euros
the day of the week
for the Eurorack version, and 588 for the desktop version. Just remember I haven't got a photo of the desktop version here, but I can show you one. The desktop version has its own power case and the like. So let me just whack one into
chat. It goes around it. It's like a border.
Yeah, you check this out, have you, Chris?
Yep, I've got the page up at the moment. So.
Okay, I'll quickly show you guys. So that there, oh gosh, hang on. That's now going to be over the top of it, of course. That is the desktop version there. So you can see with the desktop version, the actual the controller thing, which is the yellow and blue thing across the top, is actually mounted. And then you can actually pull the Eurorack module out if you want with this too. Yeah. So this is park bench compatible, I guess, Daren, in that sense. There's a bit of a price diff though between the two, to be honest.
Yeah,
so,
that's interesting. I
well,
guess
how much extra
quite
is
a bit
the
of
box?
Sheet metal.
Yeah, it's really like a box and a bit of power. I'm not really sure why.
I think it's a metal box though. It's probably a metal box.
It does look like a metal
Depends
box.
on where the metal's coming from.
Indeed. There
If it's
could
Australian steel, you're screwed.
There could be tariffs on the metal. Anyway, over to you guys. What do you guys think of the BumBleBee? Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
It's
I quite like the box. But you didn't say how much the box version was, though.
Yeah, 588
it's
euros.
500, 580.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So it's going to be 550, isn't it, for us? I think it's great.
Yeah.
I would
The
really be
control
interested
aspect
in
is cool,
playing it.
but I expected, when you said 3D, I expected it to be more like the Alesis AXYZ controller with the dome, which actually allows this movement, and this movement.
Let me show
And he's
you.
only doing.
Andy,
He
let me
barely
show you
did a
this
linear
graphic.
movement up and down. And
Let me show you
forward
this
and backward.
before you sort of slam it, because you sound like you're about to slam it. Let me show you this.
No, I'm
graphic.
not. I'm just saying it's.
I know what you mean.
That's the graphic that he's got on his website to do with the movements that you've got.
Okay,
So
so
you
you can do it. All right. Yeah.
So you've got left, right, forward, back, low and high, and also there's some sort of gate jack change when the hand enters and leaves the sort of field of cone. It's like Maxwell Smart, cone of silence.
Cone of silence, yes.
Yeah.
It's dipped by
That's
that
cool,
much.
actually. Yeah.
Yep.
The zone, that is.
Nice.
Yep. So and it uses lasers too, which you know, I guess Jean-Michel Jarre would approve.
I was going to say, can it scan your shopping on the way out of the checkout?
A laser harp that actually really works is not a pantomime thing. So
Yeah, it is two hands. Very cool.
Beautiful.
Interesting.
All right. What did I
very
say? The chatties. It's two-handed, according to my old head wound into chat. Great nickname.
Great name.
Two-handed, apparently. So, yeah.
So you know what I'm curious about.
I'd
what
say
the
let's have a
thing
go
in
with
front
it.
is.
I want to have a play with it.
Sorry, Chris, say
Yeah.
that again.
I'm curious about what the IDC connector on the front is. I can't actually read it. Does it say something unit or second unit or something? Top right hand corner of the
That's
eurorack module.
that's actually for the thing on the right. That's
okay.
to
So that's how
connect
you connect
the
the
controller.
sensor.
Yeah.
So it's sensor unit. Yeah, I just can't read it. My screen quality.
Let me blow it up for you. There we go.
Yes, sensor unit. Yes. So it's not just my eyesight.
Those little CV controllers too down the bottom. They have the the patch cable control that you can chuck control voltage in, but they also have the buttons above it which you can sequence. So it's and that screen in the middle too. It doesn't really show in the video. They need to do some more. Need to do some more videos with it. There's a screen in the middle that interacts with you as you're doing stuff, which I think is pretty cool.
Yep.
I wonder what it'd be like for playing live.
Well, that's what it's for, I think, Darren.
Yeah, no, I'm just. I'd have to see some more of it, really.
Yeah, definitely.
It depends. If you're
wonder
doing
how
ambient
extra
stuff,
straight
it could
light
look quite cool.
Because in a live venue, you got lights and other lasers and things dancing around.
Yeah, exactly.
False triggering.
Maybe it does have a cone of influence, and then outside of that, it doesn't really care. So it does have proximity, which would probably handle some of those sort of external light issues, I guess.
Ian, be careful. It's modular gateway, so watch out.
I know. I was just thinking that. I was thinking that maybe do you guys who do modular prefer it to me? I mean, I do like it, and it's one of these things that I would want to. I mean, the price. I think the price is fine. I mean, yeah, you could argue it shouldn't be another 100 and whatever just for the box version, but I want to play it, and I want to play it now.
Yeah. Well, you
Pushing his
did say it
buttons,
was it's also like a MIDI controller. That's what I was looking at. The idea of that.
Yeah.
Well, just to remind you guys, what's the difference in price? About $130 or something difference in price, right? Euros. If you were to buy a 4MS pod, they're about that price anyway. So if you're going to go and get a third-party pod from 4MS or somewhere else, they're going to be costing you that sort of coin anyway.
Right.
I think that's fair enough, Rance. we're probably going to see some other products later in the show which have much lower cost enclosures, and you'll see the difference between that and what this enclosure is, which is all metal and got a power
did
supply.
I
Well, the pods
want to
by
hit
themselves
buy
are cheap.
to
It's the
this-
powered pods that are
Stay
more
tuned.
expensive. So,
I wanted to hit buy this week, that's for sure. Yeah, I held myself back. I just can't afford to buy stuff at the moment. But anyway, let's keep going, shall we? What's next? What is definitely next is this. This is the, gosh, how do I say it? Mandala Mark II. Now, this is not a second...
Mandala.
Nelson Mandela.
Mandala. Yeah. This is not a second suck of the save. This is by Likaon or Likaon Instruments. I don't know how you say it. Likaon. Yeah, down the bottom, you guys can work it out. I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff. Sorry, you guys know that about me already. I shouldn't even need to apologise anymore. Just accept it, people. All right, let's get the video happening. The OLED display you can see on the left, by the way.
Yeah, is that
The audio not quite
I'm
right.
hearing a humming noise.
Yeah, I'm just hearing what sounds
That's
like a synth tone.
That's
Is
That's
it
on
really?
the video.
That is
all
that.
right.
Yeah, that's the noise it makes.
Oh, this is a bit long.
That's the noise the video makes. Hey, don't shoot me. I
hang
didn't
on,
make the video.
hang on. Yeah. Here you go.
Now he's going to patch our LFO into CV in 6 and then configure track 6 to act as the quantizer.
I'm liking
guys
the
can
purple
also
flashing lights.
The handwritten panels.
The sort of, what do they call those? Etch-a-sketch? Not etch-a-sketch.
So this is a menu divey type thing, guys, if you haven't worked it out.
But that menu looks tiny.
It
The
is.
real menu.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's your refresh rate is showing.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone's messaged.
Ian got a message.
I got a message.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll turn the sound off on the phone.
It's really quiet, this video, isn't it, for some weird reason? How much we got to go for? Anyway, you guys get this point. I'll tell you what it is, right? Let's go back to this.
That'll be good. It looks a bit like
It is the
Pulsar.
second. It is the second
Maybe
version.
the best video.
It's an 8-track eurorack sequencer that
Thanks,
blends Euclidean rhythm generation with melodic sequencing capabilities. Building upon Mark I, it introduces advanced features like like live performance and generative music creation. I don't know if I kind of personally
Now
agree with that.
I'm going to say it straight away. This is the video that they should have started off with a really cool melodical bit, if that's what it does.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
I agree, Daren. But it does work with MIDI as well as CV, as you saw. And there is a whole bunch of modulation options. And it can be a powerful tool, according to them, if you structure it with your connectivity in different soundscapes. Now, the first feature that it does is triggered sequencing. So it does the Euclidean pattern generation per track. It does manual step toggling. It's 1 to 128 steps per track with 4 substeps per step. So you can obviously do ratchets and stuff. Individual track mute switches are there. Then on the CV sequencing side, there's per step CV values ranging from -5 to +5. Voltage. AD envelope generator with linear and exponential curves, CV glide options linear and exponential, quantization, which you saw in the video, he quickly flipped that up, internal or external sample and hold or continuous, transposition capabilities for chordal sequences. Then there's a modulation and performance side of this where you've got 8 assignable CV inputs for modulation, trigger and CV shuffle with adjustable probability, per track per step trigger, probability, option to toggle gates instead of triggers, 4 quick save slots for live performances, preset save load via the micro SD card. Where is the micro SD card on this? I think it might be in the back because it doesn't look like it's on the front, does it? And MIDI in and out, 30 HP, guys. Now, price is €400. Now, just do a quick comparison. If you guys do know of the Mandala Mark 1, this has got a stack of more features than the Mark 1 does. So if you're thinking that he's just done a second suck of the sav with this, he hasn't. For example, this has got a bunch more sequencing stuff on it. It's got CV outputs, quantization, modulation inputs. The probability and randomization is new, and the performance features are new. And there's also a new master clock in here as well that you can use if you want to use it as your master clock, because it is a sequencer, which is probably handy for people that like to have something like this in their eurorack as a brain. Video, in my opinion, was pretty bad. Sorry, guys, but do apologise for that.
There are several videos. There are several videos on that YouTube page, and one of the overall videos was actually published almost a year ago.
Oh, that's the Mark 1 though.
Was it? Okay. And then there's a whole lot of tutorials on very specific parts of the module.
Yeah.
Just a series of individual videos. There's no real overview video that's been created lately. It's very much a deep dive without the overall.
Yep.
They need that overall.
Yeah. So the Mark 2 video started about 3 weeks ago. And then anything before that is his Mark 1 stuff. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I do like the idea. I love that circular sort of design. I kind of feel like, especially when you're limited with space, it does give you a bit more sort of usability. Yeah. It's quite a big module though.
It is quite a big module, and 8 channels. I admit the first thing I thought was, really 8 channels of polyrhythms is really necessary? But in fairness, that's not kind of how this is designed to be used. It's like meant to be like, however many polyrhythms you want, and then regular sort of conventional like drum triggers and stuff like that on the remaining tracks. So I think it's meant to be sort of used not as a massive overcomplicated single concept, but a split concept between 2 different sort of worlds of sequencing, step sequencing, and Euclidean generation and various other generation algorithms I believe they have. So yeah, but it's not obvious because it's an open system. So
if I zoom in on that for you guys, you notice that he's hand drawn the panel. Now some people will like this and some people may not. So this is kind of, how Make Noise tend to sort of look like they've got hand drawn panels designs, which they kind of are, but they're done in a very, very high quality calligraphy type graphic design way. This does kind of look like he's mapped it out on the whiteboard and transposed it over onto his panel. I'm not a big fan of it personally. I think it just looks a little messy. I would have liked to have seen some of the lines and the borders around certain things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Things like
properly.
Avoidance of one of the LEDs for the outline of the box on the MIDI section looks really awkward.
Yep.
Like at least
it's similar to Lickmum's modules. They're very
homemade
looking.
But except he genuinely. Oh no, you're right. Actually, his prototypes he's drawn on, but when they made the eurorack versions, the shrunk down versions of his 5U system, the Cosmo format, they actually captured the graphics and scaled it down, so it's the same for every module. It's actually screen printed like any other front panel. I guess this would be the same. So I don't think there's any suggestion he's actually hand drawing each individual unit.
No, I don't think either. I think it's screen printed, but I feel like I actually don't mind the handwriting itself. This is kind of what I was trying to say. Especially, I like the way the lines are drawn in the circular section. I think that looks really nice.
Yeah, that looks great. Yeah.
It's just that there's a couple of lines and boxes around certain things that I just didn't feel fitted in with the rest of the design. It just feels like it was
throws it off.
Yeah,
just
looks
throws it off.
Just a little bit unpro.
Like the MIDI, where it's like square on one side and kind of rounded on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Chris was saying. Chris was saying before that it's kind of dodging that LED on the top right-hand corner of the box.
It's the same, and the effect of when you start writing and you realise your font's too big and it's not going to fit, so you start squishing up your letters.
Yeah.
All those things. It's in there. They're in there. Even
Kerning and
little
leading.
micro
Always
amounts.
fun.
Yeah.
Now, competition-wise, there's a lot out there that this is going to be competing with. So the price, I feel he's probably locked himself into a little corner here. What did I say? It was €400. So, yeah, not sure. You know, what do you guys think in chat? Let us know. Is this a eurorack module that you think, you know, would be something that you'd be interested in? Or do you already have something that you think does it? And Jim's got the answer there. Let me just highlight that for everyone. Wait a couple of seconds for it to appear. Nope, that's not it. Why does it take so long? There we go. Looks like crap, sounds like crap. I'll take 3, says Jim. Good on you, mate. Yes, indeed.
It doesn't
Stop
scream,
it, Robbie.
Doesn't scream buy it to me, but
Behave yourself, Mr.
I'm
Robbie.
always,
Right. Next, I think.
Yep.
What about this? Well, Mr. Robbie, if you think about this is actually a standalone unit, but it also can be modular as well. So there we go. We have finished with modular, or have we? Not really. Anyway, what is this, guys? This is the latest offering. There's 2 products I'm going to show you from Cre8audio. Now, this is actually a collaboration project, which is not the first. There's a few that they've done with Pittsburgh Modular. This one I'm showing you right now is the Assembler. Assembler is a 10-channel analog audio mixer designed in collaboration with Pittsburgh Modular. You guys, if you guys don't know who Pittsburgh Modular are, he's the guy that is the American guy that's on Sonic State at the moment. So you should be able to recognize who he is now. It combines warmth and vintage mixing sort of console feel styles with modern features tailored for electronic musicians. The Assembler can function as a standalone unit, Robbie, or be integrated into eurorack. There you go. So what are we looking at here? There's a video. I'll get it lined up and you guys can watch it in a sec. It's a 10-channel audio mixer. Now, with all audio mixers, you know, they say, oh, it's got 10 channels, but you know that they mix them up. So there's 6 mono inputs with dedicated pan controls, which you can see, and then there's 2 stereo inputs, which have got features on them as well. You can, with each of the inputs, you can do a 20 by gain boost for line level signals. So if you get something that's come in from an external instrument and you want to get it to the sort of eurorack level, you've got the 20 times gain. And there's a whole bunch of other features. Now, I don't want to go into it with my voice. Let me just show you the video, and maybe they might sort of tell you in 2 minutes better than I can. Let's do that, shall we?
Audio Assembler, a synth-focused audio mixer meticulously engineered to deliver unmatched vintage mixing console sound and intuitive hands-on control. Assembler builds on the rich history and sonic warmth of classic analog mixers while embracing a modern workflow designed specifically for contemporary electronic artists. Assembler captures the essence of vintage consoles famed for the way they glue a mix together with warmth, character, and dynamic response through a new proprietary tonal shaping circuitry. The results are a mix with warmth, cohesion, and a vibe that other mixers can't match. Equally adept at managing both line-level instruments and eurorack signals, Assembler purposely eliminates extraneous features, focusing solely on superior audio quality regardless of the signal source. Assembler's inputs are split into 3 types of channels. However, they all share several common functions. Each input includes a custom preamp capable of up to 25 dB of boost, ideal for boosting line level signals, subtle clarity enhancement, or aggressive signal saturation. 3-segment LED meters, headphone cue, and channel mutes allow for precise and comprehensive monitoring. Channel 1 and 2 add extensive tonal control with vintage-inspired EQ, while all 6 mono inputs include a dedicated pan control. 2 sets of stereo inputs take advantage of the powerful preamps and assignable aux sends to work with both eurorack and line-level signals. This allows for seamless integration of a wide variety of instruments. 3 assignable aux sends and returns add additional flexibility to Assembler. The sends are perfect for integrating external effects or creating additional submixes. The returns, each with independent level adjustments and up to 8 dB of gain, function as effects returns or additional input channels. The Cre8audio Assembler brings the character of vintage analog mixers into a modern, synth-focused design.
Right, just a quick one before we go to you guys. I want to make a little point about this. The 3 aux sends and returns technically is 2 per channel, but you can actually toggle between the second and the third as a choice. So technically it's 3, but you can only use 2 of them. Yeah.
But Strip can only access 2 at a time.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing that they didn't upgrade the bus so that you could actually use all 3. I think that could have been that might have been like a electronic sort of issue they might have stumbled on.
You would have needed an extra pot for it.
Yep.
Which means every channel would have had an extra pot, which means you would have then been compromising the layout of the unit or having to make it larger. They had to put a, there's limits.
Yeah, there are. Now the other thing is I've heard a few people who have had this and they said, now this is something that I would like Cre8audio to actually confirm or deny, or Pittsburgh even. There might have been some crosstalk across some of the analog channels. Now that could be true, and if it is, it might be the systemic nature of some of the older vintage style mixers that they've probably pulled their design faith from. So you have to be careful when you're redesigning stuff. Like, say for example, you're looking at feedback modules do the mix BX, and it's from the the BX mixer. Some of the problems that those mixers have comes across in modern mixers if you copy everything. So I'm not sure if that's true, but I'd like them to confirm or deny that. That'd be good. Over to you guys. What do you think of this? $400 US, by the way.
I think it's for modular rather than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's up against the L6, really.
Oh, hell yeah.
And for me, the L6 has so much more going for it. I mean, for the fact that I can record into it, I can't record into this. So I think if you're into modular, I think it's great. The price is all right, and I quite like the form factor. It's quite small because it's the same size as the West Pest and East Beast, which I do quite like. And at some point, I wouldn't mind having those 2 synths. But I do think this is for modular.
Yeah, price for me I thought was a bit steep on this particular thing. I thought that they could have, if they priced it around the 300 or low 300 US, that would have been a better sort of option, because that, like you said, Ian, it has some competitors in the market, especially in Eurorack level. Yeah. Chris, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I see the L6 is quite a bit cheaper, isn't it?
Yeah.
279.
About the L6, does it have auxiliary sends? It has inbuilt effects, doesn't it? The L6.
It has built-in effects, and it has 2 auxiliary sends. I have to say I've not used them, but
plenty, that is.
But I love the fact I can record into it, because I do that all the time.
Great.
Technically less channels though, Ian. So this
has
got more channels.
Absolutely, yeah.
But there's an L8 which is probably closer in price, isn't it? It's bigger.
It's kind of it's a this a product that's kind of in between two worlds? It's kind of too many channels to justify just making it a submixer, and not enough channels to handle everything that you've got. It's kind of in no man's land.
It's all and everything's on mini jacks, isn't it? Which is fine for modular, but not so fine for anything else. Yeah.
Is it? Are the stereo inputs always individual left and right channels? It has no stereo TRS jacks, which I guess is. I'm asking curiosity.
You want to see it closer up, maybe?
No, it's just one of those things. I can actually read it. It's definitely not. So, yeah.
So it's
and that's one of the other things. That's one of the things
normalized,
that can save
normalized mono on the left, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. If you need it to be, used for mono channels.
Yeah.
If you want flexibility, you have to do this. But, it's a decision.
It's like on the hex mix, they have separate left and right for the stuff. But the problem is the hex mix has 3 dedicated send returns. This only has really 2, like you said, which is kind of a shame because if you're going to have a mixer,
Hex
you want to have as much as you can
way
get.
More expensive than this, though, Andy. Seriously.
Well, it's also bigger too. But
it's like
also
3 times the price of this.
Well, it's not going to get used though. I mean, I got my used, but the thing is also the circuitry may have limited some of the features you're talking about because they're worried about crosstalk and also cost. He's focusing on the analog audio sound quality, and so you're gonna have to pay for that. If he really is doing that, that's gonna make a difference than some cheap mixer, right? So.
On the analog side of things, I've heard people say that it has a sound, classic analog mixer sound that's different from other mixers, which is like, aren't all analog mixers going to sound the same? Well, apparently not.
No, they
and
don't.
This being Pittsburgh modular,
yeah.
I totally get that because, as I said, Pittsburgh modular's sonics, and that's kind of part of their key part of their expertise and character is the way their output stage is slightly distorted in color and all that kind of crap.
This is warmer than all the other analog mixers.
Try saying that about comparing it to an SSL.
What does it heat your Eurorack case up a bit more? Does it?
I was going to ask what's fancy. By the way, what's fancy about the pan pots? Because it says they're fancy pan pots. They're not. They're better, different from normal pan pots. They're fancier.
Are they prettier?
Are they?
They're sealed versus unsealed.
That's actually one. That's if we want a criticism. That's kind of the first thing I saw when I looked at this. I thought, oh yeah, someone's gone down to the local electronics store and bought the knobs that are in all the little bins and put them on. Doesn't have that kind of, doesn't scream bespoke knobs or it is built to a price, isn't it? But as you said, Rance, the price is a little higher than I would have expected for that.
Yeah,
the two
I like
things
it.
Don't quite connect.
Look, I'm not going to bash it. I like it. I think there's a lot of things to like about this. There's some innovation in it. There's some coolness about it. Like I know you were joking, Andy, when you said it's going to sound warmer. It actually does have a bit of analog charm about it. So if you go and watch, there's a few other videos on their channel about it. You can tell it's got that real sort of grunginess that you can bring out in an analog mixer. When you start doing the gain boosts and you start saturizing and clipping some of the channels, you get some of those things that you used to get in the older mixers, which are there for a reason, right? Because people like it.
I'd say it's just going to give another little mixer out there. They seem to be coming quite out now. There's quite a lot of little mixers. It's sort of the sort of fashion at the moment, isn't it? So it's just another version of a mixer that might suit what you need, and it might not. I'm using the Blue Box for live, and like Ian's got the Zoom 6, so it's I think it's just what fits. So it's just another one to the pile. So, but like you say, the cost might just be out just pushing it out the wrong way. It's a
That is their MSRP though, so maybe the street price might come down a bit. I'm hoping it's around the sort of low 300s in the US mark. You know, if this is made by Cre8audio and it's not made in China, it won't have tariffs on it, which means that the people in the US will be able to buy it without worrying about tariffs and stuff like that.
Well, it still might get 10%.
Maybe, yeah. All right. I mean, what else can we talk about? It's a mixer. Okay.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
it's another one to the pile of mixers. So you get at least it's given a bit more of a choice now. When at one time there was very few little mixers out there.
Yeah. I think I'm with Ian though. I still think the Zoom L6 is a killer. It's a killer little mixer.
It's hard to beat.
Yeah, it's hard to beat.
I've just come up with a Mackie mobile 8-channel mixer for 170 quid. So obviously it's 2-channel less, but you know, and you know, Mackie's a reputable brand, you know.
Well, Mackie are now owned by Rode, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Australian
mobile mixer,
Australian microphone company.
Well, I have a Mackie Pro 30A at the side of me, so.
Yeah.
Can't really go wrong, can you? I mean, there's so many choices, guys. So I guess what it's going to come down to is you go to a shop, you try this out. If you like it, great, and it's probably going to, it's probably going to do what you expected. But there's guys in chat who are talking about feedback modules with all the different flavors of the different types of vintage mixers. You know, CX, BX. There's a Mackie, there's a Boss, there's a all sorts of different flavors in there. CR, I think's the other one, wasn't it? CR. But yeah, there's plenty. And Annie mentioned the Hex. There's what was that one that Brooksy used to have? Quite good as well.
That one you add all the parts to it.
Yeah. Starts with a T, doesn't it? Can't think of it off the top of my head. Yeah. Anyway, we'll come back to it. All right, let's go to the next one. This is also from the same company, Feedback Modules, and in collaboration with the guys at Pittsburgh Modular. This is called the Boom Chick, and it's a drum machine, I guess. Let's call it a drum machine without getting people offside. It is pretty much a drum machine. It is quite a compact looking drum machine. It is one of these ones again which can be a desktop module or eurorack. There's 5 analog drum voices in this: the kick, the snare, the drums, and the hats. And what else? There's knob per function, and there's an advanced sequencer which has step and live play modes, enabling you to sort of choose between the two for real-time performance. It's what else? The sequencer is a 6-channel 64 step with step, shift, roll, chance, humanize, swing, Euclidean pattern generation. What else can I tell you about it? 64, 16 songs, sequences, 40 HP if you're whacking it in the Eurorack, and the price is the same price as the mixer, $400 US. So, shall we have a little listen? Sure. We shall.
Introducing Boom Chick, an explosive analog drum machine built on the sounds and character of Pittsburgh Modular's newly designed analog drum circuits. These powerful and expressive percussion voices are paired with a modern, advanced sequencer designed for intuitive creativity and deep rhythmic exploration. Every voice has been meticulously engineered for maximum sonic impact, making Boom Chick a true drum synthesizer. Starting with a massive bottom end, everything from clean and punchy to aggressively distorted kicks. With explosive snare hits that can mimic a physical snare drum or venture into creative new territories. Drum channels 1 and 2 offer even deeper sound design possibilities. You can generate everything from subtle nuanced percussion to wild expressive sonic textures. Toms, claps, snares, kicks, cymbals, rim shots, cowbells, congas, claves, space sounds can all be dialed in and reimagined. The hats utilize a custom oscillator noise matrix to create crisp, bright metallic tones, ideal for modern beats and intricate rhythmic patterns. No menus, no hassle, just pure tactile beat making at your fingertips. BoomChick's sequencer is designed to offer profound depth while maintaining intuitive simplicity. It features 2 powerful modes: step mode for meticulous programming of each drum step, and live mode, allowing real-time rhythm creation and expressive performance. Timing functions like humanize, swing, and quantize provide refined control over groove and rhythm. With up to 64-step sequences and polyrhythm capabilities, BoomChick brings together classic analog warmth and modern sequencing to offer a versatile and hands-on approach to drum synthesis. Whether shaping traditional drum sounds or exploring more experimental textures, BoomChick encourages creativity and spontaneity, making it a valuable tool for musicians looking to create dynamic rhythms and powerful beats.
There we go. BoomChick. BoomChick.
It seems to be a bit cheaper than you said, Rant, because here everybody's doing it about 270 quid.
Right.
So,
But hey,
so it's a bit cheaper. As is actually the assembler's a bit cheaper as well.
Good.
Here,
Right, I'm happy to hear that.
I don't need this. So it's. I mean, if you need a drum machine that sounds like that, then that's fine. But it's not. It's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, before the when the Tempest was coming out, it was originally going to be called the BoomChick. They called the Tempest instead.
Interesting.
By the way,
I don't hate
Ranzee,
this.
the quick
I don't
aside,
hate
the
this, yeah.
mixer that Brooksy had is a Tesseract.
That's
Right.
it, yeah.
Yeah, Tesseract. Yep. That was it.
That's it.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, I was just going to say I don't hate this. I'm a little I've got kind of covered for an analog drum synthesis. This kind of the direct competitor to this, I would say, in the market right at the moment is probably the Drum Brute Impact, which is physically twice the size but a little bit cheaper. Similar sort of one knob per function analog voices. It only the Drum Brute Impact only has one FM voice. This has 2, and I do really like the FM voices on this. I'm not so enamored with the kick and the snare, but yeah, I like it for the hats. Typical hats, so yeah. But it's cool that it's. What I think cool about this is if you have a look at Pittsburgh Modular's modular past, as in the modules they've made all the way back to the past. They've made quite a few of these individual drum modules, and if you bought them individually, it would be 3 or 4 times this cost. So this is an excellent way to get. Yeah, this is an excellent way to get those sounds if you've waited, because this is much cheaper. So it's cool in that sense, and as I said, I don't hate the sequencer and the way it's put together, and individual outs, individual.
They even made a cool
triggers.
rhythm generator that was just a sequencer that would turn incoming sounds into rhythm bits. I forgot the name of it, but I have it tucked away somewhere. It's pretty cool. It's a clever unit. So they have a good history of drum stuff.
Just while we're looking at prices, just to so you guys know where I'm getting prices from when I tell you guys prices on the show, this is their website, and it's $399.99, which is $400. I mean, we're talking a cent difference, right? So $400. That's their price if you order it directly from them. Okay, so if you guys are getting prices from shops, great. If they're cheaper, fantastic. It doesn't mean that that's not what the manufacturer wants to sell it for.
No, and to be fair, that's
deals.
exactly the same thing that happens with COG. So if you look at COG, the COG UK shop online, it's much higher than the street price.
Yeah.
So they're just doing what everybody else does.
Couple of things from me with this, and I mean, obviously, I've had the benefit of checking this out over the week whilst I prepare for the show. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more CV connectivity on this, so that you aren't just limited to using the inbuilt sequencer. So all you can do with this externally is, I think you can trigger it, each voice, and it's got its own separate output. So
it's not. Yeah, it's very similar to the Impact.
Yeah, in that sense,
It's at least the Impact at least has that function of color. It has a automatable color setting that changes the settings slightly on each drum.
Maybe
doesn't have that, so
maybe it gives them scope for an option to do an expansion module for this, and that would be cool, because then people may want to be able to access some of the other features that are on this, but do it via CV. The sequencer actually looked pretty good, I thought, on this.
A point as well, even the Pittsburgh modular individual modules of these drums was very similarly limited to only the settings on the front panel.
Yeah,
it wasn't a lot. They don't have a lot of history in CV control over their analog drum elements. So again, I think this is a classic case of taking some IP they already had, putting it together in a more competitive package to make something attractive to market. So
yeah, I mean, just to remind...
Well, I don't actually have an analog drum machine, and it's not expensive. Well, everything is at the moment for me, but interesting, I'd say. I know Jamie in chat for Zima, he's getting one. So
cool, good on you.
I'm interested.
Just to remind people too, the Cre8audio, they make a lot of good stuff, right? So they make the nifty keys, which I've got, and Daren and I both have. Mine's sitting right there as the nifty case. But they've also got a whole bunch of modules that are really cool as well, and I think a few of them were named earlier. So I don't feel these are going to be bad in any way. I think these are going to be good. I actually think out of the two, between if I was to have a one, I think this is better value for money. I feel like you're getting more bang for buck.
The mixing.
Yeah, I do like
and as you guys said, if it's cheaper in those shops, then that's a bonus. If you're getting it for, what is it, £270?
Yeah, 275.
That's kind of
the cheapest.
Kind of heading towards like $550 Aussie, which is I actually think that's pretty damn good for a drum machine. If you were to buy it in Australia, yes, awesome.
Yeah, it's missing some of the CV you mentioned, but that's also keeping the price down. So,
of course. So as I said, maybe scope for an expander module. Yeah. Because not everyone wants that, right? Like I agree. If I said I want it to have all this CV connectivity, a lot of people are like, "Nah, we don't need it. We just need it as a standalone drum machine." Great. Have an expander module. Maybe they're thinking about it. I don't know. Cre8audio do some cool stuff. So, like you said, Chris, it might be limitations from Pittsburgh, right? But with the Cre8audio team, they've got some experience to sort of expand things.
This could just, as you said, this could be just the first volley.
Yep, exactly.
Did they have pictures of the inside of this? Did you have good pictures of the inside to see if they have like expansion capabilities?
I haven't seen any pictures of the inside of it, mate. No, I don't think they've released any.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they've.
Yeah, I was just going to say
the plastic box.
You can ask Robin. Robin Vincent's got one, I think. So
yes. I mean, I was just going to say that I absolutely love the West Peston and East Beast, which I've played both of them at shows and thought they were absolutely bonkers and brilliant.
They
The
are
price is good on those two.
Yeah,
good price.
yeah, and
Yep.
they're
Great modules.
really, really cheap. Yeah.
And then this with those is also
Actually,
you know.
if you were into the whole thing together, discounting the mixer to some extent, I don't think that necessarily works with it. But these three together would be superb. Then you could take them to an EMOM and you'd be well aware.
Yeah, indeed. Right. Well, let's keep rocking on because this one, especially to keep Robbie happy, let's go and have a look at a Eurorack module. Suck it. Right. This is from Tokyo Tape Music Center. This is the Voltage Control 4 or VC4 if you want to keep it short. This is a comb filter. And I stumbled across this and I thought, I really want to show this because I love comb filters. I really hope they've got a video and an audio demo so I could show it. And they do! Yay!
Hey,
So we finally
cool.
got someone who's actually gone ahead. So big hats off to
Props.
these guys. Yeah, big props. Let's have a look at the video. You guys know what a comb filter is. Let's check it out.
Sweep that baby, come on.
Modulating those.
Amplitude.
Yep. All right, we get the idea. I think the important thing to get from this is probably more of an engineer's demo of it. But what is really, really cool, what he's showing you, is that this thing is inspired by the Buchla stuff. So this is actually a model 294 Buchla comb filter, and it's actually really, really cheap. It's only $300. It has under 250 to 1K, 1K to 4K, and greater than 4K on the different bands that it's on the channels that it's got. But one thing I don't know if you guys noticed it, but when he started interacting it with the Buchla gear, like the function generator and things like that, it's just one waveform going into it, right? But he turned that into sounding like four completely different voices coming out of that. And this is kind of what you guys need to catch from this. You need to sort of go, okay, what's he doing here? What can I use this for? And when you think about it, one waveform going in, four completely different sounds going out. And that's huge, you know. So these things are worth their weight in gold. And that's why Buchla had them, you know, from the get-go.
It's the beauty of Buchla. Yep.
Yeah.
It's complex input, I would say. Complex oscillator.
Complex oscillator.
Exactly, yeah. That's probably part of the reason they like a harmonically rich sound source going into something like this is what it needs.
Yep.
But
Or a
within
sample.
each individual.
Could be a sample.
Or a sample. So each band is, as you said, like a different instrument, and when it's controlled individually. Yeah. it also reminds me a bit of the there was a Korg, the Korg PS series or whatever it is, they had some fixed filter banks, and doesn't the Moog have a fixed filter bank? Similarly able to, I think, adjust the amplitude and the CV. I get that it's, now that I can see that it's based on something existing. First thing I was expecting was it to be able to sweep those frequencies, like the Moog one, the Spectrophone, which is, of course, that's got frequency and amplitude that you can control of those. But as you said, as a cheap module,
sweep
it's
it.
pretty cool.
It would be a bit of a trick. It would be done with a sequencer style sweep, but you could do it.
Yeah, I meant, I think actually sweeping the comb.
Oh,
because
okay.
I mean, to be a comb filter, there has to be gaps between.
Yep.
Has to be nulls.
Yeah.
So and that's what good old phasing sounds like.
Yeah, of course.
Moving
Yeah. The interesting thing here is the individual
not that kind of
outs
thing.
and the sum. So, I mean, obviously, you could create some sort of phasey type sound with an additive style, right? So you could blend with the sum and the different individual outs. You could have some sort of additive or subtractive, depending on how you looked at it, style with that as well, which I thought was interesting.
If you mixed it with the original signal.
Yep, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah,
exactly. Yep. Yeah, I get what you're getting at. Yeah, there's some possibilities.
Doing some sort of weird panning and adding some.
I like the idea of individually panning the individual bands on something like a sample.
Yeah,
because then you've got something changing in the time domain as an input. That's
you got it. That's exactly where I was going, exactly in my head with this. When I was looking at it, I was thinking, okay, yeah, it's a Buchla. It's probably designed in the early 70s, this thing. But, geez, they had the audio engineers of the day, they had some really great ideas. And, here we are still just catching on to how cool some of these things are. It's like comb filters have been around for years, but I kind of feel like you said, Chris, I feel like there's the playable comb filter, and there's this comb filter, which is kind of more like a setting type comb filter, where you use it in a sort of modulatable set sort of scenario, which tends to be sort of more of the Buchla sort of style, right? And because that's kind of what they wanted in the day. They wanted things to be take your hand off and have everything automated. That was kind of their forte. I like it though. It's good. Will I buy it? Probably, if I can afford it.
It's available as a kit? No? Yes? No?
Couldn't find that information out. Tokyo Tape Music Center.com with dashes in between each of the words. Let's have a quick look at their website. It was all in Japanese, wasn't it? Only one left in stock. Oh, he's taken $10 off the price too. Good on him. One left in stock. There is a photo of the back of this, which I'm going to share with you guys actually. Save image as. Please be a JPEG. Yay, it's a JPEG.
Of course it's a JPEG. They're Japanese.
Ooh. Them fighting words. Here we go. Oh, hang on, let me get rid of that one. That's the back of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't give you a hard on, what will?
Down. Yes.
Indeed.
Cool.
Right. No, there's no kit that I can see.
Weemer capacitors.
Yes. Well, there's little trim pots. Little trim pots on every single one of them.
Yeah, of course.
So you can muck around with your ranges, I guess, if that's kind of what you want to do.
It's kind of that instrumentation type attitude, which is you want it precise. You want everything calibrated.
Yeah.
That's kind of the Buchla way.
Yeah. Do Tip Top Audio do a comb filter? I'm just wondering. Tip Top Audio Buchla. Quick look. Do I have time for a quick look? What was the model number on that? It was the 294, wasn't it?
I think it was
294. No, they don't. So it is a eurorack module that you can chuck in that you can marry up with all your tip-top stuff. So there you go. Pity it's not the same colouring though, isn't it? Be nice if it was the silver and blue and red and white and stuff. The banana. Anyway,
The tip-top guy I talked to a Buchla friend said there are way more modules coming eventually, so they could be building Buchla clone modules for a long time.
yeah. Right. Okay. Last is, this literally just came overnight, this particular one. So it wasn't even going to make the show until I got off my butt today and inserted it in. And that is a latest module from Intellijel, the Multigrain. I haven't had a lot of time to research this, so I do apologise if I'm not really across it as well as I could be. I did reach out to Intellijel, tell them that I was going to try and talk about this in a lovely way. What is it? It's a 20 HP stereo morphing granular sampler, and it offers 8 simultaneous sound slots, and you can see the little 8 buttons down the bottom that you can select with either a inbuilt granular sample, or you can actually use a audio input coming in, and not only that, but you can also dial into some sort of dual scene morphing mode between that, and that's what that little slider is, like an XY morphing.
Yeah, that slider's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
this thing is packed, as with all Intellijel stuff. This thing is packed with a whole bunch of stuff, and the feature list was huge. And I thought we'll just go through some of them, and I can tell you right now, I'm not going to cover all of them because it's massive. The video goes for 6 minutes. We can't watch it all, but we know that there's an micro SD card in there that you can load your own granular samples on. You can also input your own audio and it will sample that on the fly. There's 13 dedicated granular parameters, including grain size, position, envelope shape. There's manual and CV controllable morphing between scenes. There's built-in resampling to create new samples from the processed audio that you've just done. There's blur reverb effect, which is their own reverb effect for spatial enhancement.
Sounds pretty good too.
The assignable X, Y, and Z CV inputs for internal random and modulation sources. So I noticed on the video they had a planner too next to it. There's a mod A and B output for modulating external modules with this, so you can actually use those modulation parameters to control other gear. There's a 48K 24-bit stereo I/O with 32-bit floating point internal processing on it. That's pretty cool with the 32-bit floating point, so there's the lack of clipping type problem there. It supports up to 48 projects with 48 presets, so you can dial in presets and save stuff. There is an included sound pack from artists like Richard Devine and Speedy J, and there's a bunch more, including Red Means Recording, Jeremy, plus many more features, as I said. Price is only $479, which I thought was insanely cheap for this. But let's have a little look at the video, and I think we'll deserve to go full screen on this baby.
Welcome to Multigrain.
I've always been tempted to buy one of those.
I've
I
got
have
one
a couple
of
of
them.
them.
My brain is still on the first 2 minutes of this video. I haven't caught up to this part yet.
Yeah. Thing is
There's a Planet
bonkers.
2. Oh. That's the Daren button right there.
Oh yes.
Guys, I want to watch the video forever and ever and ever and
Yeah.
ever and ever and ever and
It's
ever
very
because
cool.
it was friggin' awesome. But what did you guys think of the multigrain? Who likes multigrain bread?
Yeah.
I bet you do now.
I've got to admit, I do like
I-
it, and I would think of popping that into something for live. You know, without it's another one of those modules that I've been going on about, where you can just put it in a little box
Yep.
and use it as is, more or less.
Yeah.
And I like them type of modules
As an instrument.
rather than having to have a full modular.
Yeah. It's typical Intellijel. One module does everything, keep you occupied for a whole day type, at least before you have to go to sleep.
Now, before you guys say anything more, let me just say one more thing. Right now, if you buy something from Intellijel and you live in Canada or the US, it's free shipping. And if you live anywhere else in the world, it's 50% off shipping anywhere else in the world.
Okay.
If you spend $399 US or more, this qualifies for it. And the other thing I wanted to mention, Daren, is they do sell cases, little pod cases. So you can get a little pod case from them, which is like the Metropolis Solo kit, for example.
Yes.
I can't remember how much that thing is, but it's well, there you go. It's $149. There you go. That's how much it is. Which is probably a bit too big for this, but you could have you put another module in there. Anyway,
Exactly. It's always, then there you start off, then, don't you? And another module. I'll get a bigger case. And another module. No.
chuck it in your nifty case. You'll be right.
Exactly. Well, that's what I was looking at, actually. I was thinking,
Yeah, this
This-
thing does a lot. It's like instant pulse stretch and so much other stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah. I like this.
oh, they're in. Go on in, get it.
They're
You don't
clever
need
little-
to get any other
No,
module.
no. I'm not going to get it, but I like it.
They're clever little buggers, these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been working hard. They've been working hard the last couple of years.
Yeah, they're especially getting good with their
Last couple of
DSP
things
stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But don't forget, they also make amazing cases. I love their 7U cases. So,
I like all their infrastructure.
yeah.
I like the fact that all their panels are aluminium.
Yeah,
All nice stuff.
kind of where I sort of get just crazy with their stuff is they've thought about things to the depth. So you look at their modules and you think, just on face value, hey, cool, it's doing all this cool stuff. But then you can just really go deep with them as well.
You've
they've
bought this,
added-
haven't you, Ranz?
No, I haven't bought it. I nearly did.
You,
I nearly did.
you bought it in your mind because
It's
I'm seeing you
He's
putting this
gonna
with sea legs,
research it.
aren't you?
Right now,
gonna research
Daren,
it for at
there's
least a couple
two
of days,
products
yes.
that are sitting in my little basket, what do you want to call it, and I can only get one, and I'm like, this or the other thing, this or the other thing.
Oh,
It's
no.
like, I'm gonna have to flip a coin or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
yeah.
Get the kids in here, do rock paper scissors. Jeez.
Yeah, but then that'll still never work because you'll say, give it another go. Go on, best of 3, best of 5.
Yeah.
yeah.
Forget it, I'll buy them both.
Yeah, let's just go broke and let's eat ramen for a week.
it's interesting one because I have to, when I first saw this I thought, oh, it's just another granular synth. I'm kind of over granular stuff. I had my little foray with the Texture Lab, but the longer this goes on, the more I get sort of this is like a grown-up version of the Texture Lab. Grown up, so it's actually like the fidelity is there, and you said the finesse and the sort of polish is there. If you're looking for something grittier, I think I'd say the Texture Lab is nice, cheap,
Lo-fi.
Yeah, exactly. This is if you're really into sound design, and as I said, someone like Rant who really loves his granular, this is ticking the boxes.
Oh hell yeah!
And it's such typical. It's typical Intellijel, as you said. They must sit on these products for so long, and God knows how many endless number of iterations they must be doing before they find something that is something special, and then they release it. I mean, you've got to have a lot of chutzpah, should I say, behind you to sort of do that in this industry. But if anyone was going to do it, it's Intellijel, because they've been around for donkey's years.
They have.
I started with the Bastel Micro Granny a long time ago, and it's so lo-fi and glitchy and clicky and stuff. It's not that fun to use.
Yeah.
This just sounds amazing. So
Yeah.
I think where this is kind of really kicking goals, though, I think everyone saw it, is that you can pull some audio into this, and then you can granulize that. But then on top of that, you can then resample that and granulize that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you've got 3 different ways that you can granulize stuff, and then you've got all the features that the granulized system allows you to do with those 3 different ways, and then you can morph between them. So that it's like, what? It's huge. And I mean, okay, there's one little negative thing about it, and that is that it's kind of a single voice, right? But did you guys feel like it was a single voice? It didn't really feel like a single voice.
Because of the grains, because you're getting polyphony on the number of grains. That's your polyphony right there.
Yep.
And also the blur is adding some kind of ambience, reverb. That is a voice.
Yeah, the early bit sounded like Aphex
really
Twin, and it's crazy.
Yeah. I had a really brief chat with them about this. There is kind of a cool little trick you can do with it. So down the bottom where you've got your 8 different granular patches that you've got, you can actually go between, you can sequence them as well. You can go between each of them, and there's a little tail on each of them, and it won't cut the tail off. So it is, in that sense, it's kind of a little bit polyphonic in that sense, which is why you guys are getting that sort of hi-fi vibe out of this. It's not glitching out like some of the other granular stuffs that you guys are used to. So it's some really clever DSP programming in this for sure, definitely. So the thing is, I've never been able to afford a Waldorf Quantum or I'd love one. And that's kind of like the epitome of granular synths. I've got the Arturia Pigments, in which I love. It's awesome. I haven't even updated it yet. I want to update it to their latest one, because that was pretty cool. It released that a few months ago. But all those things are kind of great and everything. But I mean, what was I saying? It was $479. Seriously, that is like, for a eurorack module that does all this, that is dirt cheap. I'm blown away. Yeah, good job, Intellijel.
Well, they're
potential module of the year.
They're also, I think this is a classic case of they're making the decision to not exactly cost their time in developing the software for this. This is a classic case of what I would call your development time is considered to be not worth anything as such in the final product's MSRP. It's the classic, look, it takes as long as it takes. I'm not going to count the number of hours. Yep. I'm going, when it's ready, this is the price it's going to be, because that's the hardware cost multiplied by our factor. So I think that's what's going on here. This is why they're producing modules at these price points. Is because they're projects that aren't being costed in reverse. They're being costed at the start, and until they're ready, they don't go to market. That's just my theory.
What I like about this company is
Get 'em on the show.
they're not just sort of taking in the money and driving around in Ferraris with the profits. They're actually reinvesting it into what the community, it's creating a village, right, of people who are becoming fans of Intellijel, because like, what are these guys going to do next? I kind of, it started with me, Daren, and you're the same, weren't you? It started with us. Our love affair started with Intellijel, with the mixer, the sequencer, the 185 Metropolis, yeah.
Which is still sat there,
which is sat there.
Great module. Yeah.
But anyway,
Also, you gotta love that horizontal slider. It's like the Akai 612. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's like a deck. Yeah, it's like a DJ deck.
Yeah. Don't sell your Mark 1, man. Don't sell it. Just hang on to it. Hang on to it.
Who's selling what?
Jamie.
Mark 1 what?
All right.
Mark 1 DX7 what?
I'm assuming he's talking about the Metropolis, right?
Oh, Metropolis. Okay.
Unless he's talking about something else.
Oh no, I've got mine there. In fact, actually, this, and maybe another module if I can fit it in there, and with my rest of my live set. But my live set keeps growing. I've got to be careful because it just makes it more and more pain in the ass to carry about.
For me, this company's getting a bit of my money. Obviously, this is on the shopping list for sure, and
this is Mark 1 quantum runs. That's what he's selling.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Geez, what's wrong with the Mark 1? Was there a problem with the Mark 1? Did they do anything? Oh no, let's get into that right now.
Yeah.
The other product that I wanted to get from these guys is the Atlantics, which is the SH101 module.
Oh yes.
Which is like basically the most nerded out version of an SH101 you could ever get.
Yeah.
I've held back on getting
They
one.
won't sell it to you in pieces. They won't
No.
chop it into pieces and sell it to you so you can get past it.
Yeah, it's
Damn
still
export people.
It's still just under $700 US, which means it's expensive to get it over here. But this one, the multigrain, that'll definitely sneak under the threshold for me. That's for sure. And 50% off shipping. That's actually just made me think. It's leaning towards this now.
Okay.
The other one, the shipping was that I'm going to get the other product. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I will be getting it very soon. But the shipping is from the UK, and I can't believe how expensive the UK is to ship to Australia now. It's like something's gone nuts.
Whoa. Let's just wind it back there. Wind it. You said you had a choice of two. You couldn't make your mind up, but now you've just said that you are getting one.
Well, I've only just discovered
So you've
about the
already made
50%
mine
off
up.
shipping.
Yeah. It's on the show,
I've just discovered it.
real time.
How much is shipping? Let's have a look. View cart. Let's have a squeeze.
See, it's in his cart already, guys. So it's definitely
Calculate shipping. Here we go.
It's there. He's buying it.
Calculate shipping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Select country.
Watch him now. He'll accidentally go, bought it.
Yeah. That was a mistake.
He doesn't have a beer in his hand. He has no excuse.
What is it? One suburb.
No, see, he's typing all the
They're
details
very
as well.
specific, aren't they?
I want to work out how much shipping is. Oh, jeez, it's cheap. It's cheap. Shipping is a lot cheaper than the UK one. It's only $31 shipping, and it's with DHL Express, which means I'll get it literally overnight.
Ooh.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Whoops. Well, that's
I
that.
don't think I can get
Sorry, I'll have
PCBs for that
on
much.
$510
Probably around
in total to get it here, Chris. $510 US in total to get it here.
Oh yeah, very Insta-buy.
Far out. Boys and girls, and I've got to stop spending money. Right. That is it for
Okay,
news.
right, well, we'll see you next week then.
Gonna happen.
Yeah.
Who wants to help me?
Sorry, if the show's not on next week, his internet's had to be cut off. He can't afford it.
Guys, look. Stop paying me out. We can do this right now. We can go for the second clue. Are you ready? Are you ready? Second clue. Redraw. It's what you guys are going to say when I tell you what it is. Redraw.
It says synth #1 there. That should be 2.
Oh, it should be. You are correct. It should be. That's probably because I forgot to change it. I did this very quickly, Darren.
Just in case everyone thinks, oh, is that the first clue?
Let me just fix it, and let me just do it again. Second clue. There you go. Beautiful. Redraw. And let me just double check to see if I haven't done that with the third clue, Darren. Yeah, I have. Right. Okay. Back over here. Stop looking at me.
Wait, is it redraw or red draw? Red draw.
Yeah. Rum.
Who brought that guy? No.
You invited him.
Stanley Kubrick did.
Yes, that's right.
I want to mention, I showed you guys briefly before the little sneak peek of the nifty keys earlier. There is a reason why the camera is on that. When we get to Saturday Sonority, I had a guy who emailed me during the week, and I just wanted to let you guys know something. I get emails all the time. All throughout every single week, I get emails from people. I get messages on YouTube, messages on Facebook. A lot of people ask me a lot of questions about synths, and in most cases, they're pretty easy questions to answer. In most cases, I don't mind answering them. Sometimes they ask really complex questions. They ask me questions about systems exclusives and how do I get my JDXI to make coffee, things like that, right? And I can't answer them, man, because like I've got a life, I've got things to do, and that means I'm going to have to drop everything, go and find out what the answer is to your question, which is fair enough. I've got a life, I've got a job, and I've got a family. But every now and then I'll let one slip through. This particular guy, he asked nicely. He wants to know how to connect up the nifty keys to his Behringer Roland System 100M modules. So we're going to show that. And I know it's going to be basic for a lot of us, right? But I just want you guys to remember that there's people out there.
Nothing's basic for me.
Yeah, there's people out there that are just starting out, and this is going to help them. Okay, so we're going to do that in the Saturday Sonority section. But we're not doing that yet because we're doing this. And have I got a doozy. I came across this at first and I thought, what? This is weird.
Wow.
This is really weird. This is a guitar. Okay, yes, I know it's a synth show.
It's
a Martin D300, okay? But why is it $404,412.93 US, right?
Because of the tariffs.
And if you have a look underneath the tariffs, exactly there.
Yeah.
If you have a look underneath, it's 360,000 euros, this price.
Oh, yeah.
Right? This is on the Thomann website. Now, when I saw this, someone posted it on some group. I can't remember what it was now. I thought, geez, I bet you someone's just doctored the price.
Error.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, they haven't. This is live on Thomann's website right now. That's Australian dollars.
Okay, so it was just the way it rendered the price when it did the conversion that was weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's
is what it is.
That's some people. I don't actually get this, Chris, but some people put full stops or periods in the middle of prices, which aren't decimals, and the commas mean they are decimals, and it really just really bothers me with my mathematics. But anyway, that's what they do. Yep. So I don't know how those maths teachers would actually teach their children about decimals and stuff. But anyway, this is Australian dollars, 614,860. Who wants to buy one? Shall I add it to cart? What the heck? Something's going on there, boys.
It's not even rare woods. I mean, it's I don't get it. So
yeah, something definitely.
Well, the 200s pricey as well. That's 128,000.
Why are they so expensive? Pounds. Can anyone tell me?
No, I can't answer that one.
Okay. I tell you what, if I bought that, it would be wanting to do a lot more than making acoustic guitar sounds for that sort of money.
Oh, mate, hang on. Maybe it's actually a TARDIS. It's actually a guitar. It's in the shape of a guitar. It's a TARDIS in the shape of a guitar. In which case, that's a bargain, even if it is,
It's
a
a
40
limited
billion
edition.
years ago.
It's a limited edition, and it's the D3 millionth guitar, whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Probably made in China.
obviously they've been going for 192 years.
I don't get guitars. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I do, but
Nick, you're on the money there, mate.
So,
a guitardus. I like that, Nick. That's good.
yeah,
Guitardus.
It's very good guitar.
It's very good.
It's just a limited edition. Somebody
Your
will buy
career
it.
is
Somebody
bigger
will
on the-
too much money than sales. Really.
Your music career will be bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Dearie me. Well, anyway, I don't even like the look of it. Sorry if it offends anyone.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't like a dreadnought shape. Although I've got a dreadnought here, but I prefer to have.
Anyway, we move on because it's not
else.
synth related. But I just thought, hey, if you guys are guitarists and you're watching this show because you are actually also into synths,
You can play
I feel
nice.
sorry for you if this is how much it cost you for your piece of wood with some strings on it. Right, next.
Well, a
That
good
was
Les Paul's
700
pretty
quid.
expensive, so
Yeah, Les Paul's are. Yeah.
Why don't we get a Kawai? Why don't we get an SX210 with the Torn Tech MIDI? Wow, and it's even got the manual. This is actually working, apparently. Serviced by a pro technician.
it's nice.
There's
But I prefer the 240.
Nice carpet.
There's a stack of photos here that we can check out.
Nice.
Someone vacuumed. They're listening, see?
Yeah.
You guys are influencing people. This is actually a pretty cool synth, by the way, for those who are into vintage Kawais.
It's a lot of 210
It's
though.
nice looking. Very nice looking, actually.
Very nice with the wooden ends. It's got the MIDI upgrade, so you can control this with MIDI.
It's got a little
Here's
place
the
where
rare
you can
Kauai case.
wrap up your
That's why the
cable.
price went up.
Yeah, put it in the case. Looks very
They don't do
nice.
that anymore, do they? Oh, the buttons. These little buttons.
There's the serial number for those playing
Sequential
along at
style
home.
buttons.
Anyway, that is that. I know there was another photo, but bad luck. You're going to have to check the listing out. All the listings, by the way, are in the blog article. My chatbot has been spamming the chat with the link to that, so you guys can check that out. 6 p.m. UTC time is when the blog appears to the world. So, well, it's when it's been scheduled anyway. Next is the beautiful vintage, I'm just reading this, Columbia Rhythm Box. Don't know if I agree with the words.
It doesn't
But
look amazing either, but
$419 Aussie, $210 British. Actually, it's probably less than that now. It's the Aussie dollar's not doing too well at the moment.
Pretty
dear me.
limited.
Albanese's definitely not having it easy right now. Very basic looking thing, isn't it? It's a box and it makes rhythm sounds. Just in case you wanted 40,000 photos of this said box, you've got them.
No, it does have two banks. So
Well, but
it does
wait,
have
Chris.
Rock 1 and Rock 2.
There we go, Chris. That's just for you.
oh.
Kent,
Actually,
where
it's
are you,
very
mate?
nice PCBs.
Put it away, Kent. There it is.
That doesn't look too crusty at all.
Don't you just love through hole? Though I just love it.
Yes. You know I love it. I'm a tragic.
Wait, aren't those
You boys
tantalum
need to get out.
But
capacitors in there?
I don't miss those green
That could be,
caps.
mate. I'm not sure. That could be.
So much room.
Yeah, which is a problem. And if you didn't want, hasn't there been a lot of those little rhythm boxes lately? We showed two
Yeah.
last week, and these are just discovering all the time. The next one is this. This is the Synton Phoenix 2 PP. running down your leg. It's on Reverb. There's only 3 photos I can share with you. What is this, guys? What is the Centon Phoenix 2? What is it? That's what I want to know.
It's a telephone exchange.
Yeah.
It's got the banana
So
plugs.
it's not the Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's the Phoenix.
Phoenix. It's got how many VCOs? 3 VCOs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a modular. I'm thinking this is just like some sort of
Definitely a modular.
crazy modular, right? Can we zoom in on this at all? We can't, can we?
It's like their version of a Surge.
Someone in chat will tell us what it is.
Kent says it's expensive.
For what it is? 11,000. What is that? Almost £6,000.
Yeah. 6,000, yeah.
Yeah, for Synton, that's not expensive.
I mean, these guys, from what I remember, are quite boutique. So they don't make like lots and lots and lots of stuff for the world. They make, usually it's made to order type, one of these companies, right? But banana
For example,
format,
like the Synton Syrinx is like Aphex Twin's one of his secret weapons, and they're really rare and expensive.
yeah, I think we've even shown one before, Andy on the show. And we were
I have the
talking about
Syrinx filter called the Gyrinx. It's really nice, actually. The Formant filter.
Cool. What is interesting about this though is there's a whole bunch of knobs, so it's like no menu diving, it's knob per function, and there's a whole bunch of patch points on this, right? So when you think about it, it's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it's got some sort of normalization too to it, right?
Yeah, possibly.
But yeah, I mean, it does look interesting. Someone could remake this into Eurorack. I don't really know much about what type of oscillators they are, what type of filters they use, and are we sort of going down some sort of really unique sonic territories with this thing, or is it just an interesting formulation of knobs and patching that makes this good? Yeah.
Sometimes it's sound, sometimes it's workflow.
What I would like to know is who's used one other than Apex. yeah, other than him.
Well, they had a Synton reissue at Super Booth a couple of years ago. I forgot what it was. One of their products is being reissued. I don't remember the name of it though.
Yeah. Now, when we were doing something, I think we were showing a video, I noticed that something came through on chat. I think Jamie sent through a £20 question to everyone, and he was asking people in the chat room what their favourite synths were at the moment. So do let Jamie know if Thanks for the 22, Jamie. Appreciate that. But we're done with Price Watch. I definitely think we shouldn't be buying guitars if they are made by the Martin type. From Toman at least.
Well, the average Martin guitar is like,
a couple of grand,
$1,500, $2,000, something like that. Yeah, they're not crazy.
And they're good guitars.
Yeah, my friend had one. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree. I mean, I do know a little bit about acoustic guitars because I've got some. I've gone and played one, and I didn't think it was that good. I don't really get what the hoo-ha is about it.
Well, each one's individual, isn't it, to some extent? So
I kind of feel like, I mean, maybe I'm just a bit Australian here, but I actually like Maton guitars. They've got Tasmanian oak bodies, and they just resonate so nicely with. It's just like a good marriage of wood and string, right? And some guitars, I feel like they don't resonate properly. I feel like it's just they're going after a look as opposed to a sound, and I don't agree with that, especially with guitars. I agree. You should be going after a sound, not a look.
Well, I bought that one. That came into the shop second hand at the Hagström, which is Swedish. Not particularly expensive. I think new they're about £700-800, and it's brilliant. I love it.
So don't forget that sequential synth that came out with the anniversary edition with that kind of wood to have that swirly pattern on it. So I mean,
Yeah.
even synths can have stupid, crazy looks to them. So
Yeah, true. The tiger wood or whatever it's called. Yeah, I remember.
tiger wood, yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I mean, the guitar that I go to a lot is my Ovation vinyl back.
Yeah, they're good.
It's just got quite a unique acoustic sound about it. Because you'd think, okay, it's got a vinyl back, and the back of it is actually kind of curved. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't replicate the same shape as the front where your strings are. Right. It's got a curvature. So when you actually lean it against your body, you get a different. It's kind of almost protecting your body from deadening the wood vibrations, if that makes sense. So the wood on the front is not being affected by your body pushing up against the body of the guitar because it's a different material. This is the theory behind it, right? And apparently it makes a decent sort of argument.
And you should always have solid wood guitars, not laminates, because laminates won't age well.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
So I would always try and
Yeah.
I mean, I have a 40-year-old Fender.
So no Formica then.
No Formica.
MDF.
Yeah, I have a 40-year-old Fender Montero, which I bought new. I've just given it to my youngest son because I don't want to sell it, but I don't need two acoustic guitars.
Indeed.
And it's got better with age, because it's solid wood and it's a nice piece of wood.
Well, why don't we do How's Your Week Been, eh? Because you guys are chaffing at the bit to tell us how's your week been. And go with Chris, I think, first.
You're picking on me. This is the second week in a row you've done this.
For a long time, it's been
put me on the spot. Yeah, how's my week been? My week has been work. Not a lot to report. Working on something to do with the firmware, which is a good thing, and I'm going to be able to fit it in, and it's making me a bit excited. And testing the new modules, and testing the new modules, and no, sorry, you don't get to see them. Too early to release yet. Yes, there'll probably be some new circuit boards I think I need to make, but that's good. So yeah, just proofing out some stuff, and lots of just grunt work, unfortunately. Just lots of software development. So I haven't got a lot else interesting to talk about. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's one of those weeks, where you just have to put your head down and your bum up and just get some SHIT done.
Head down in your bum.
Good on you, mate. Head down, bum up. Good on you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go across to Ian, because Ian's had an interesting week. How's your week
I've had
been,
an
mate?
interesting week. So I started Sunday, although I was in lots of pain with my face. Here we are, Ian's health report. I moved the studio around, moved the desk out of here, moved this into here, which is on wheels, and it's created a bit more space, really. So I did that on Sunday, and then Monday I managed to go and see a doctor who diagnosed me with trigeminal neuralgia, and gave me some painkillers. Well, not painkillers, gave me a course of tablets, which the side effects are horrendous, really. I mean, I was meant to go and do an EMOM in Bristol on Tuesday evening, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't have, I just really wasn't in the right place of mind, So it's been an interesting week, really. I'm very tired a lot of the time. So sitting down here is fine, but doing anything with any energy, I haven't got any, but I'm on the mend, as we say, really. So I've not really done very much music stuff. I was, on the Monday, I was preparing for this EMOM, and I set all this stuff up here. And then when it came to it, I got up Tuesday morning and I just couldn't, So I was waiting till lunchtime, and then I cancelled, which I hate doing at the best of time, really, because it's not fair to the people that are putting the heat on. So yeah, not a great week, but better than last week.
Well, there you go. It's an improvement.
It is an improvement.
Sorry to hear about it, mate.
I hope maybe your symptoms, side effects will die down over time. Hopefully.
The side effects are better than the pain. Because when the pain and this trimenal thing it's like having toothache in both top and bottom and your head at the same time. So at the moment I've just got headaches more than anything else with it. And we don't know why it happened. It just happened.
Yeah, neuralgias of all kinds.
Yeah,
they're unexplained pain. It's basically what it means.
I mean, the other thing is, I had 3 visits to the dentist as well over the last 2 weeks. The last one was Thursday, where I did have another fill-in, and you could argue that I didn't need that work done because that wasn't the problem. Having said that, it has cost me £300 in dental fees. So hey ho. But anyway, I could have spent that on a synthesizer. I could have bought a West Pest for that.
Oh,
yeah. But no, I'm definitely on the mend.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope it all goes away quickly, mate, because that sucks. Yeah. All right. All the best, mate.
Cheers,
all right. Head over to Andy.
Hey.
Yeah,
sorry to hear about the dental stuff. $300 is actually cheap over here. Our system stinks. So every time I go to the dentist, it's like $1,000 or $1,500 out of pocket. And yeah, it's a total, I won't bore you with the details. It's a total nightmare.
Yeah.
This week, other than messing around with YouTube videos a bunch, just random stuff I posted, I couldn't resist. There's a sale on one of these. So soon I'll be, it didn't show up yet because of shipping issues with weather in the U.S. right now, but I'll be smoking a cigarette soon, though. Can you see it? Can you see the? Oh,
no,
damn!
It's too bright.
Ah, there it is.
Oh yes, it's
a cigarette. Yamaha cigarette.
Yamaha.
You bought one of them.
The sequencer.
They're really good price. They're way deeper than I ever imagined. I binged a bunch of videos on them. They're really incredible with probabilistic stuff and lots of controls. There's even, check this out, there's even an app for it. If I can get this to show up correctly. That they pretty much copied the OPZ in so many ways. It even has a visualizer app. So there's a 3D here. There you go. So you can load in 3D models and videos and overlays and stuff, and have this hooked to an external source like a projector or whatever, and make it sync with your music for the show, just like you do on the OPZ with the one channel
with the app,
of graphics and animation and stuff. So they've literally. I mean, I knew they copied it to a certain extent, but when I saw this engine, I go, oh, they really did copy it. But it is cool. The editing on here is amazing. Again, you don't need the app, just like on the OPZ. You just learn the muscle memory. And it's not that menu divey, and they actually have the words already in the interface, and they just light up when you're in the certain mode. The certain words will light up, so you know what mode you're in. So it's kind of a clever menu-less interface, and it has a lot of crazy stuff going on. I won't go into all the details, but so I figured I'll break down and get it and check it out. And it's another mobile device to play with to do entire tracks.
Yay.
So see how that goes. More park bench stuff, Darren.
Hardware jams.
Yeah, harbor jams, all that stuff. So and it samples on the go.
Park bench stuff.
You can.
We're still waiting for the park bench.
All right.
Oh, the stamp.
Yeah,
Still waiting for the park bench.
they're quite cheap over here.
Stamp.
How are you, Daren?
I'm like everybody else. I haven't done really much. I'm like everybody else. I'm just chilling out here. I've just been writing live set stuff, which takes quite a few months to do. So, so other than that, I've not I've not been doing anything. I put a track out last week. Not many people watched it for some reason. I don't know why.
I had that problem last week as
Just
well.
the chill, really. Yeah, really chilled out track. So it's a bit of a live type of track. It's like if you just watch the video, it's just driving down the road, just chill. Life's like a road, you know, ups, downs, junctions, crossroads, bumps in the road. So it was just a really chilled out tune. But other than that, I've just been writing live stuff and hoping when I transfer it over to the Force, it doesn't have any issues. If it does, then I need to come up with some plan for August. So yeah, that's basically been my week.
That was a quick one, Daren.
Like I say, just nothing. That, and you know, can't spend any money, so what can you do? And then you shows products like that, don't you? Like the Intellijel, and then go there. Look, you can't spend any money, but look,
Don't blame me.
If you
Not my fault.
Determined to keep us.
Well, yeah, I will blame you because I haven't actually seen it.
Fair enough. You guys might remember we did the memes earlier today, and we didn't actually let you guys know what the poll result was. So let's refresh that, and we'll press stop on the poll, and then bang. Here we go. The Hans Zimmer one won it. Only just, though. Okay. Only just by one. The one that came second was the NASDAQ one, which I thought was pretty good. So the Hans Zimmer one was the first one. I just thought it was clever. Very, very clever, where he was just laughing at everybody because he has more synths than everyone else.
You know also why he's laughing? Because he has literally wallpaper of a studio of synths that he doesn't even use.
Yes. Anyway, so that's the meme of the week. It's good. Well done, polls. Right. We've got through that. Why don't we do the third?
No idea.
Why don't we do the third clue, guys? Why don't we do the third clue? Just wait for that to disappear. Good. Modifier is the third clue, people. So now you've got all three. Indeed you do. You've got all three. You should be able to guess what it is. And if you can't, well, don't come like whinging to me, because it's my quiz. Let's do Saturday Sonority, and I mentioned before we're going to answer a question. And like I say, every week, you can ask us anything. You don't have to do it during the show either. You can just do it during the week, like Peter did. And Peter probably doesn't even know that we're doing this because I haven't told him. Tell him tomorrow. Watch the show and we've answered your question for you. So we're going to head on over to where are we? The Nifty Keys. He's got a Nifty Keys and he wants to plug in his Behringer System 100M module. Now you can see on there is a couple of Behringer System 100M. They're not the ones we're going to plug into. We're going to plug into these ones here. Alrighty. So basically it's pretty simple. Out of the Nifty Keys, you just want to send pitch and gate, right? So you're gonna be just choosing a single mono sort of voice. So make sure you set it to one voice. When I'll show you how to do that. Now you press function and press the one voice. See how there's little writing above the keys on there? If you hold down the function button, which is just below the mod wheel, and then press one of those key on the keyboards, it'll activate whatever function it is that's written on there. It's pretty cool, actually. I like that. Some other synths have got it, like the Base Station 2's got that sort of feature. It's pretty cool. So let's head. I'm going to lose the mic for a sec. I'm just going to head over there and plug this in. I've still got the headphones on, so you can hear me. I'm going to need long cables, guys. Some long ones. Long uns. Here we go. Pitch, CV1. goes into pitch, VCO there, and I'll show you that in a sec. Gate goes into our envelope. No, not long enough. Sorry, I'm in the way. Gate 1, CV1. Gate 1 goes into your envelope controller into gate in. And I'll show you that in a sec. I'll move the camera over. Alright, so I just said CV1 is pitch. CV1 goes into the bottom left-hand corner of the VCO. That's the CV1 pitch. And gate 1 goes into your envelope module, which is module 140, where it says gate in. Probably need to set up our envelope too. And we need to actually then patch the envelope into our VCF and our VCA. So you'll notice on the envelope, there's two envelopes on this particular module. We're only going to use one in this particular case, but you can use both. What we're going to do is we're going to send the first two connections on that right hand side of that module, which is just here, the correct way around, and the bottom one is inverted. So just use the top two, and we will put VCF and VCA modules in for those. So top one can be VCF. Is it long enough? Not long enough. Need a longer cable. Here we go. VCF into VCF, and then VCA into VCA. I'll move that out of the way, don't worry. Okay. So you've got first one going into VCF and the second one going into VCA. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to send the noise of the oscillator, so the output of the oscillator, to the input of the VCF, and then the output of the VCF into the input of the VCA, and then you put the VCA's output into your mixer so you can hear it. Let's do that. So we want to go out. Where are we? And then into VCF. Out. All right, let's get some modulation on that. Little bit of release. Okay, make sure it's all turned up. So that one is all up. That one is up. That one's up. That one's up. No gain. Okay, theoretically we should get some sound. Let's get that. Do I have it connected? Just need to double check I've got the connection through. Don't want any auxiliary on that. Getting any sound yet, guys?
Negative.
Pitch, VCA. This This is not triggering, is it? Interesting.
It's times like these we need LED cables.
Yeah, I've got some.
It also shows you that there's nothing ever basic.
It's not the synth voices that the problem here is.
He's probably cracked already and sold all his modular gear.
This is why I don't do modular.
See? Yeah.
Well, if you can't stand a little bit of tech solving, you kind of, maybe it's not for you. Hello.
Oh,
Here's something now.
Some reverb
Nice
there.
high pitched. Yeah, certainly some reverb.
Yeah, I thought I was having an hearing test then.
Right. Let's get the nifty keys happening over here so you guys can see it.
We can just hear you.
It's not syncing.
You need to change the settings of the harp or something.
Yep, it's not syncing.
It needs a clock.
It needs a clock. Interesting. I need to set the clock on it. Anyway, so let's go back to here. So just to recap, I'll get my little pointer. Where's my little pointer gone? There it is. Alright, so you got to have the CV1 going into there. Then you've got to patch the output of your oscillator into your VCF, your filter. Then you've got to have your envelope comes out of your nifty keys into your gate in. That's called gate 1. Then you patch the output of your envelope into the modulation input here. Make sure the attenuator is all the way up. Then you need to patch the second connection here, the black one, into your VCA. And then those two are gating the VCF and the VCA at the same time. Now you can actually, if you wanted to, you can actually set both envelopes up separately, right? And then you obviously need an output coming out into your mixer, and then you get the sound of it. That's not the sound of it, but you get the idea. I can do it from here. I can play it with my stick.
It's the best. That's the best, most inspired synth playing I've seen you do all your career.
It is. But I mean, that's the basic patch, right, guys? So you've got CV going in to VCO. You've got gate going into your envelope. Envelopes going out into your VCF, into your VCA. Making sure that the actual connectivity of the audio is going from your oscillator to your filter, from your filter to your VCA, and then out of your VCA into your mixer. Hopefully that is all she wrote, all you need to do. I know it's basic for a lot of us guys, right? But the reason why we couldn't hear it before was because I was using the second mixer and I hadn't turned it on from my end down here. So, and it was easier for me just to patch it into the other mixer. But when we get questions like this and people don't know how to set up modular, they might be modular for the first time in their lives. A lot of people buy synths and they're already normalized, internally patched. So the VCF, the VCO, and the VCI are already normalized. You don't need to patch them in to get them to work, right? Whereas in Eurorack, you have to, unless you get one that is already normalized. So, yeah. Hope Peter gets his going. He did have another question about the 960, which I thought was a good one. And that is, how do you get a 960? You can see it actually just below there. How do you get a 960 to reset after someone stops and starts the sequencer? And there is a kind of rudimentary way you can do it. You can actually put a V-trig into the stage in. There's, if I get the camera,
force it to jump to that stage.
It forces it to jump to that stage, and then you'll need another trigger to start the oscillator off again, which has it. They all have CV inputs. Let me just get the camera going for you guys so I can show you. PTZ. Is it this one? Hope it is. I hope it is. We go down a little bit. Yay, there we go. All right, so we can see the whole kit and caboodle shebang there. And why did I put the little pointer away? That was a bit stupid of me. Okay. So on this thing, if you're not clocking this externally like I am here, ignore that. You're going to be starting your sequencer over here at the oscillator with that red button. That starts the sequencer, right? And then you're going to stop it with the black button. That's start and stop, okay? So you can actually use...
You're only showing us you, Ranz. You're not showing us what you're playing.
Ah, shit. There we go. There's the oscillator. There's the red button. That's the start. There's the black button. That's the stop, okay? The oscillator is basically your clock for the sequencer, okay? You can actually use these CV inputs to put a V trigger in to actually enable these things to go on. But to reset it back to the first step, you notice here, down the bottom of your stages, you've actually got an in and an out, and you can actually you got a momentary button too. So if you are on say step 7, like you can see there, step 7, I can actually make it go to step 1 by pressing that red button there, and it'll take it back to step 1, right? Bang, she's now back at step 1.
And then you got to start,
like that. Or you can put a V-trig into the in here, and it has to be a V-trig. It can't be. It can be a square wave gate, right? But generally speaking, it wants a V-trig. Yeah.
So V-trig's inverted, isn't it? Goes to ground whenever it activates.
Yeah. So voltage low, right? Yeah.
It's a silly name, really.
It is
it's
really
called inverted.
So what can he use? Like, just out of, I don't know what modules he's got, but he said he has a bunch of modules. System 100 modules.
Cool.
What could he use to send a stage 1 in V-trig?
Could he use an inverted envelope or something? It's an expensive use of an envelope, but you could use it.
Yeah. Or he could use, I don't know if he's got those modules that do the inverting and stuff, like the one above.
Yeah, because that would be useful, wouldn't it? Yeah.
The mixer one up above does it, right? So that mixer up the top, you've got the inverting outputs.
Yeah.
Here. So you could use any type of square wave.
That would do it,
yeah. You could use that sequencer there on the left to send a trig out. There's actually a trig out connection on it. But there you go. You could probably use a trig out and trig in on that sequencer. I want to try that actually. Let's try that. So see the 182, right? See how it's got a trig out and trig in?
Yep.
What would happen if we were to put a splitter on the trig? Would the start-stop work with the trig out and trig in on this? That's the question. I can't remember.
Well, there's no reset on the 182 anyway.
No. So there's no stop trig out, is there? There's no stop out type thing.
It's just
No, so that's not going to work.
Pulse. You could
Yeah.
synchronize them in a way.
You
know,
could.
last step could synchronize. You could force it. There's 2 steps to synchronize between each other, but that wouldn't necessarily be like restarting the sequence.
Nah.
So presumably, if he's wanting to restart a sequence, he must be running a sequence from something else.
If he's
Question is
clocking it
whether
externally,
yeah, exactly. Depending on whether who's supplying the master clock is kind of depends on what the answer is.
Well, in that case, you have to use the shift input, right, on the 960
to clock it.
Yep. And in which case, that will send it. All it is just shifting step to step to step to step.
Yeah, bypass the oscillator.
Yeah. So he could really just have anything that could send that inverted V trig into that in.
Yep.
I don't really know
Could he?
how else he could do
Depends
it.
on what he's got.
Mm.
As I said, inverted envelopes, the only thing you could possibly put into service that's not intended for this purpose. But
I don't know if he's got that. I mean, if he's got the Metropolis next to it, that does have a reset thing on it, a stop output. You could use that. Or I haven't actually tried it. Or the other option would be if he's got a Pamela's new workout.
Oh yeah.
If he does have a Pamela's new workout, you can use with the little expander module on the right here. You can use the little run, which is a V trig.
Stop. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
So you can do that as well. So there's kind of 2 questions that he was asking. I kind of feel like though that the thing with the 960 is you kind of have to be prepared to be a bit more hands-on with it. It's not really built in your traditional sense, as a sequencer. It's a bit more like it's a sequencer that you're more hands-on with. So if you do stop and it's sitting on step 6 and then you want to start your sequence again, you have to get your finger on that button onto the stage 1, get it ready again, if you want to do it that way.
It's some background on that. It's part of the original Moog 55 system. So Bob actually had ancillary modules like the 962 and the 963, which actually handled this kind of marshalling. So it wasn't in the module. He was basically creating it as he went along. So it's kind of a super broken down system that sequences in there is concentrated on the sequences and the sequences pure functions. And then when the musician said, but now I need it to do this, and it's like, I'll go away, I'll just get my soldering on turned on and I'll make one of those. It's kind of that style. A lot of the Moog stuff was they were inventing on the go. He was inventing on the go. So as people said, wouldn't it be cool if you do that? And said, yep, I could make a circuit that does that. Yeah. So that's why it's sort of weird in the sense that the modules sometimes do strange things that you wouldn't think you'd put into a separate module, or they have missing stuff from what you think would be essential in a module, because it was a different time. It was at the beginning, it was the birth of analog synthesis and modular synthesis.
Guys in chat were giving a few options as well. V-Trig Pulse will do, put a 4.5 volt battery with a momentary switch on it. I mean, obviously you'd have to bodge something up with a 3.5 millimeter jack and everything to do that. There was some pretty decent suggestions on the modular mod wigglers forum too, under the 960. So there's people who have been talking about how to do resets on it. There's some ways that you can get around it, so go check it out. But some of those are a little bit more DIY and technical. So
do a bit of soldering involved.
Yeah, so we're just
it needed like a live module, just a small one with a big button, just a retrig. That's it. Hit it.
Yeah,
just sends out. There you go.
Foot pedal.
And it's got to be a big purple button so you can hit it.
There's sequencer, like I had to buy a Variegate 4 Plus because the original Variegate had no start stop. I'm like, come on, guys, why didn't you put that in the original one?
Oh yeah,
So there are a lot of
the plus, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of sequencer issues out there when you start buying this stuff, and you either have to wait for an upgrade or look very hard at what you're getting. So
Yeah.
Yeah, do a lot of research. Yeah.
I was just thinking, does the Variegate have an output for stop? No, it doesn't.
I think the
Yeah,
Plus
it's-
does, doesn't it?
It's only got random, freeze, and end, and I think they're inputs.
But they also designed it to work with the voltage block and all that stuff too, right? So you can augment it with all those extra goodies.
The voltage block has inputs for reset and clock, but it doesn't have outputs for reset and clock.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah, it's more. It's an internal ecosystem, that one. So you're basically sending stuff
okay.
to it, but you're not actually feeding it out to anywhere else.
Yeah.
The thing that you're feeding it out is the gates and the
Right.
CV pitch, right? That's what it's sending out.
Right.
I'm looking at it right now. It's right here. I think PAMs would be a good solution for that guy. You know, having the PAMs with the little expander, which is the
PAMS is great to have anyway. It's just it's an amazing
Exactly, yeah.
module.
It's like he'd never regret buying one if he did anyway.
PX2 or something it's called.
So
PX2?
useful for so many other things. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have the X1, which is the has the larger,
the DIN.
like proper MIDI and DIN on it.
Yeah.
But it's good to get both if you can fit both in there. I didn't have room for both of them.
Yeah, and I've got the MIDI. The one I've got's got the MIDI with the TRS connector on it. So
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
I wanted the
Takes up
extra
less-
jacks too, because it also gave me more
Yeah, it gives you a couple
real time
more. Yeah,
variable speed jacks. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm just wondering. Metropolis has the reset and the stop thing on it. I wonder if that would work. I mean, he's not going to go buy a Metropolis just to reset his 960. No. You might as well just use a Metropolis, right?
Sometimes these, you read some of these threads where people are asking questions, and a lot of people give suggestions and work out. And at the end, thanks guys. I think I'll go a different route.
Yeah,
kind of. You could tell that it's kind of like, no, that was way more work than I thought. There was just a simple, have I missed something obvious question like thing. Sometimes people genuinely want to be able to, no, I want to see it through. How do I do this? And some people it's like,
but if you go on ModWiggler, you're asking for it because they're a bunch of nerds.
Exactly, that's the thing. That's the thing is you see people fall for it all the time.
I'll just go and start on my door.
I don't think they bargained for that level of reply. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm just thinking. I probably, when I'm using the 960, I don't think I've ever really worried about it going back to the first step if I've stopped something, because I would just, if I've stopped it, it means I don't really want the sequencer running anymore. So
yeah,
then I just walk up to it and press the first step if I want to start it again.
Sometimes people want the feature because they think they need it. And then when you sort of go, yeah, but you're just fixating on it. Why don't you just make some music? It's like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. It's just one of those things. Sometimes we obsess over something that's not quite as important as we think it is. It's like once you know about it, you kind of, oh no, I have to solve this problem now. That's
just get your $400,000 guitar and just go play something. So.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Write some songs.
It's funny when you come across stuff, right? During my week, I come across stuff, and I'm like, the first impression is, oh, that's a scam. Someone's just trying to rip him off, blah blah blah. And then I went and looked at it and clicked on the link and went, hang on a minute, this is not a scam. This is actually what this thing is being selling for. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, for $400,000, I expect a player to come with the guitar.
Like I said,
and no case.
The guitar has to do a bit more than just make acoustic
the band
sounds.
I would like the entire road crew all vaccinated and with passports, that kind of thing, for $400,000. Yeah, thanks. for
The
semi-trailers.
the chat's
tool.
not frozen. No one's just chatting, mate. So you gotta get to it, buddy.
You could probably get Steve Vai for a day for $400,000. You know.
Dude. Right, so I think it's time that we did this. So, guys, put your guesses in for the synth quiz because you've had your 3 clues.
Or already have, and I know it's wrong.
I'm just going to go back and
Yeah.
just see what
I'm
people
not
have
even gonna
guessed.
try this. I'm baffled by this one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So Chris, you
second
guessed
one's got me,
you guessed the Prophet 8.
which is
Culture of Ghost
only because the
guessed the Modal 6. Wagoo guessed the Argon 8.
Well, what
Bert
was it?
guessed
I was
the
gonna go
Argon 8.
yeah, which makes sense.
Let me see what else I've got here.
Like redraw waveform, kind of redraw button. I just don't know.
I think
much about
Bert
those.
was the first guess, wasn't he? Bert was the first guess. Unless someone didn't put my name, and I'm not like able to search through this. Synth quiz.
I think I didn't even touch an Argon 8, so I didn't know these were on there.
I've got the Argon 8M down here.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm just like, tell me if I'm wrong. If I think Bert's was the first guess anyway in the quiz. If I'm wrong, someone else can shout out to me. But do you guys want the answer? Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here's the answer.
We know. Yeah.
Argon 8
It
is
is
the
the Argon.
synth quiz
Very good.
answer. So
Actually, it's the
ASIO
RAL
head.
8.
he has the G's chopped off for some weird
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
So is redraw a knob or a button or what is it?
Yeah, is it a button?
Yeah. Right. So I did have this open for that reason because I knew you guys were gonna. So I've got the
Yeah, I want to see what
PDF
these are.
open here on here, right? Redraw.
That's interesting.
Welcome back, Chris.
Yes, that was odd. I thought, what's that showing me a
Okay,
black screen?
yeah,
It's- oh
yeah.
shit, that's me.
Listen. Argon 8 has 32 static wavetable modifiers that can be applied to both wavetables independently. These are applied offline and are effectively redraw the waveform by applying a process to them. Available modifications are, and there's a massive big long list like DRes 1, DRes 2, Crush 1, Crush 2, Resample 1. So it effectively redraws the waveform. So that's redraw. What was the other one? Modifier, obviously.
Voice modifier.
Every waveform has a modifier. So
Yeah.
that's in the manual.
Where's the drift?
voice
Where's the
drift.
voice drift?
How do I
It's
type?
like any analog emulation kind of
Wavetable modifiers, right? It's literally a heading in the whole manual. And the other one, what was the other one?
voice drift.
Voice drift.
So that's like the vintage knob that adds slop to it or something.
Yeah, that's what
Slop.
that's what made me think of the Prophet 8.
Sure, it is. It's slop. Yeah.
Drift, this
Yes.
encoder actually is actually an encoder called drift. This encoder controls the voice drift amount, this amount of slop or random detuning on each oscillator phase and tune per note.
Yeah, because it's an 8 voice synth. Yeah,
Yeah.
very nice. Yeah,
So it's extra warm because it has the drift. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Tokyo Drift.
So with this one, I thought it was going to be kind of tricky to guess, but the problem with this synth quiz is if I put a whole bunch of terms up and you guys just Google it, you go synthesizer and then put the 3
Yeah,
key clues in, it'll come up because most of the stuff is available online. So, but one thing I noticed when I did it with the Argon 8, it didn't come up. It was probably on the 2nd or 3rd page of the Google results. So most people are probably going to get lazy as they're looking through it. And it was coming up with a whole bunch of other stuff. So, yeah. I mean, the best way to play it with this is to not Google it. Try and do it off your memory.
yeah,
You feel
that's
like
why I
you're
didn't
not
have a
cheating the
guess.
system.
I'd had no clue, so I wasn't
Yeah.
going to cheat. I just
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah, even though I knew the answer was wrong, I just thought it's still fun to sort of say.
I know
okay,
we
two out of those clues matched.
Googles. He has to. He just because that's just him.
Well, Google.
You just can't.
Yeah,
help
well,
it.
Google.
He has to know.
Yeah.
He has to be armed with all the.
He has the
information.
No, I'm
input
kidding,
plug
mate.
into
I'm trying to
interface.
I'm trying to gaslight you.
We don't know, yes.
No, I knew he had a Argon
He's
8.
not here
And
to defend himself.
to be honest, he is. To be honest, I actually thought he would have got it first, but Bert got in like a
Yeah.
smidge just
It
before
was
him.
like a rocket, wasn't he? He was there.
James, I even like did really nice looking clues, mate. You missed them, or look how nice
Yeah.
these clues look. Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that.
put all
Voice
that effort.
drift.
It's got a little sort of square, looks like a album title or something. Synth Quiz Time.
Like that.
Synth Quiz Time, the album. Dun, dun, dun.
I even typoed on the clues. You know, Mr. Typo bloody spelling police next to me. Jeez. And Daren, tell you what.
Oh, they're going to be complaining that the first clue was too early anyway. So you've got to get at least number 1.
There is that, yeah.
Anyway, it's good to get that off. So I'm glad ASIO Head feels like he's walking around with a bit of swagger this week because he got the synth quiz.
Ah, yeah.
Yep. Now, guys, I'm a little disappointed. Like, why is nobody submitting a Name That Synth? Is it too hard? Is everyone too busy? People do hardware jams. Why can't we do a Name That Synth?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Ooh, that's controversial. I don't do hardware jams.
Now you're just trying to shame us.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm only after a 1 minute. He's after a 5-minute video. I'm after a 1. So, you know, hey.
The problem with me is that you'll know which synth it is.
That one up there.
It doesn't matter. If you
Until
do it
you do the
anonymously,
one under
Darren,
the cloth.
Darren, if you do it
Yeah.
anonymously, they won't
And
know
so-
it.
yes.
They won't know.
That was going to be when I get my new computer, because I thought if I win it,
Yeah.
I'll have a new
Oh, cool.
computer.
All right,
be
and
able
people
to-
are asking,
Yeah, so-
how do I do a Name That Synth? Okay, I will show you. So you head on over to ranzee.com, same place as the blog article, right? And you click on the menu here, Name That Synth. Click on that, and it will tell you, without the stupid ads, it will tell you how to contribute information. So this is basically all the stuff you have to do. And there's even an example video here if you want to check it out, which is controversial.
Yeah, it's the one that is that the controversial one? Yeah, you shouldn't have that.
Oh, the modular one.
Yep. That's the one. That is the one. I love it. And then once you've done your video, you can upload it to your YouTube channel unlisted so that no one else sees it, and then send me the link via my email or via messaging somehow. There's plenty of ways you can contact me. And we will put it on the show. And if nobody guesses it, you will get a copy of Unify from Plugin Guru, which is a damn good piece of software, let me tell you. But anyway, we haven't had one for a while. The last one we had was a little while ago. What's with those bloody rude friggin' ads on my website? The chicks with their boobies out.
Risque sign, aren't they?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
really?
What was going on
Mature
there?
women looking for love. I mean,
What the hell?
why not? Maybe
Only
advertising that
ladies,
to
yeah.
Rans.
So
What the
You
hell?
never know. Everyone will be
They
looking
left
at
the
your
chat and went
site.
to your website.
Where's my, where's the money on the fridge? Where's my kickback? I've been meaning to do one, and I'm the same as you guys. I haven't had a chance to, but to be fair, I've probably done the most Name That Synths out of everyone. I think
Yeah.
Eddie's probably the second.
Eddie's probably second.
He did a lot.
For me, probably.
His were really good because he did a lot of different sort of PCM type synth modules that he had over the years. Oh, YouTube just went all snap on me.
It did, didn't it? It's gone
Yeah.
back. Is it? No, it's okay.
No, it's back.
Watching it. It's back.
My browser just went
Oh,
all snap. But don't forget, I'm not streaming through the browser or I'm streaming through Streamlabs which is like multi-streaming. Now, there are people watching on Twitch, so I do want to shout out to those guys. I know it's not a massive sort of part of the show, but if I say a big hello to everyone, this will go to YouTube and also to Twitch, which I love about. This is one thing I love about Streamlabs. I can write a message and it sends it to all the streaming platforms like that. So you guys would have seen a big hello to everyone. Look at that.
For a slop eurorack module.
For a slop eurorack module. Whoa, $50, mate.
Yeah,
Seriously.
he's giving you money for a module.
Good on you.
$50. Good man.
Good on you, Steve, mate. You didn't have to do that. That didn't pop up today, did it? I wonder why it didn't pop up.
No,
Text to speech
the
work,
noise,
but no, there's no pop-ups.
we didn't get to see it.
Didn't get to see it. We're going to go across to this so we get to see it. There you go.
There you go. Thank you, Steve. Although,
Click like.
didn't buy me a module.
And click on like. Click reply. There we go. Steve gets a reply.
Aw.
Yeah, so what was I doing during the week? There was, because you guys do How's Your Week Been, and I never really get to do it.
Yeah.
So hovering over
should
purchase
have
over
your-
a thing.
Yeah, you should have your own. How's your week been?
Nah, you guys don't want to hear from me.
No,
I'm talking
no,
all
no.
show.
Yeah, do it. Do it. How's your quokka been?
Yeah. I did send you a message on Discord and you didn't see it.
Oh, I'm not in there very much. I got to get on there more often. It's one of those things I always forget to check. Discord is
Yeah,
like last
well,
on my list.
Now you need to. Now you know you need to go check it
I will-
because
I will
Chris,
check.
don't tell him what it is. He knows what it.
I won't.
Chris
I'm
already
not
knows
saying
what it is.
nothing.
Okay.
Alrighty,
I've got an
I'll
account,
check.
but I never go on Discord.
What was that thing called?
Yeah, there are too many things already. I can't keep track of all these
Yeah,
damn social media things.
keep forgetting to go into Blue Sky.
I don't even have a Blue Sky. Remember
No, it's
Elo?
on
I
Cloud
did
here
Elo for a
too.
little bit, and that kind of went
I
away.
remember that. I never did that.
All right, so I might as well just give it away what I was going to purchase because I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it now. That I'm going to get the other thing. This is what I'm going to purchase.
Don't do it. It's your rack.
Chris, I know Chris loves this
Ah.
thing. Yeah,
Oh yes. So you're getting. Oh, you're getting the kit.
I'm going to get the kit. Yeah, the kit doesn't look too bad. To be fair, I had a look through the build. There's quite a lot of soldering,
SMT's already done.
but the SMT's already done, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
So-
I've had the lot. I've had a couple of kits like that as well. Very.
So what does the
easy to
poke
do.
function do? What is poke on there? I forgot about that one.
Oh, so basically the CMOS chips that generate the sound in this thing can actually be poked of small voltage without the thing even being turned on, and you can actually hear audio
wow.
out of it. Yeah, it's incredible.
Almost passive. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't
So
for
you
the
take-
voltage
take
going
the
into it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. They take the voltage from the trigger signal itself and use that to power the rest of the circuit. It's
So
cute.
the
It sounds
shipping
good. It sounds
the
cool.
shipping on this is £50, which like annoys me, right? £49.
Oh yeah,
shipping.
this is
Wow.
the Thonk will charge you the 10% GST, but I'm trying to remember whether it shows up. Yes, it does. They're pretty good about showing it in the cart. There are a few other looking at you Etsy. There are a few people who try to hide the GST until the very last minute, like you're almost halfway through paying and it says, "Oh yeah, and there's GST as well." Didn't we mention that?
Yeah.
Oh.
That would be a funny name for a module. Poke and slop. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it ends up being $100 Australian more expensive just to post it.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. And the thing is just a tiny little, sachet about that big, satchel, I should say, which is ridiculous that should cost £50 to post.
Yeah, it's the shipping's been weird.
It didn't used to be
Not
like that,
for
though.
automatic song.
It's only in the last, well, probably since Brexit,
Yeah.
probably, when I'm thinking about it, really. It's probably since Brexit.
Not that long.
Yeah, so I'm probably quite used to it. I tend to buy this is Thonk, right? I tend to buy supplies as well as modules at the same time, so I kind of somewhat shielded from it because part of it's for the business and part of it's for me. So kind of makes it easy to pay for the shipping when you know it's being somewhat tax deducted.
Well, we have a problem here with the U.S. Postal Service since it's federal, and these idiots keep monkeying around with all the stuff that are in power now. I've got this.
Yeah.
I got this excuse. My cigarette didn't come because they say, "Oh, we got weather issues all over." It's like, no, you don't. U.S. Postal Service is broken, and
Right.
I get FedEx stuff and UPS stuff quicker, and
Yeah.
so it's just an excuse,
I tell you what, I don't know if this will be amusing to other people, but because I have a FedEx account, which I got because I was trying to price, make it work out if I could send something to someone in the US. They keep on sending me email updates on the tariff situation. So every couple of days you get a deep breath. Okay, here's what we want to advise you now you need to do. And it's kind of like, and every email at the end always sort of apologetically says, we're doing the best we can with the extremely volatile times and conditions under which we're operating. Read between the lines. They got headaches. Everyone's getting headaches with the orange man up there.
In another 10 minutes, it'll be different. I'll send you another email.
Exactly, yeah. But it's sometimes quite funny just reading them going, okay. Them trying to unravel what it means. Trying to advise people as best they can.
And it changes every day, so you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly, yeah.
Indeed. If you do follow us, I definitely recommend, we talked about it a few times already, that you do check out our Discord, which is this one. Yeah, no, that's Streamlabs. This one. No. God, which one? Oh, there it is. Discord. There's the Discord link. bit.ly/Ranzee Discord. And one of the cool things is you get to see us talking about all sorts of things, and it sometimes isn't synth related, like this particular one. Tariffs are on, tariffs are off, tariffs are on, tariffs are off.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
But I'm still not giving away yours, Andy. You're going to have to go to Discord and find out what
I
it
will
is.
look
See
at it.
more
Thanks.
Looney
Yeah, I'll
Tunes.
check it out.
I miss Looney Tunes. I need to see more.
Yeah.
They're great. The hard thing is to find them unedited original versions because they got cut for length and cut for content and cut for other stuff. So
exactly. These days
you got to find the old DVD collections where they have all that stuff on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are the Streamlab things not showing up? Test widgets. Let's see. So you did a super chat. That worked.
This is a test super chat message.
But not visually.
No.
Sound worked, but
it did. It went out. It went out to stream. Definitely. I saw it.
Yes. Sorry. No, we don't see it on our.
You don't see it.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, we don't see it in our vMix stream, but it is actually going out on the stream. Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it does it. How it works is everything that you guys are doing through vMix, right? And then this goes into Streamlabs as basically it's all packaged, and then Streamlabs adds those little things onto it just before it sends it out to stream.
Yeah. We just forget.
So things like all these sounds that I do, like Law and Order, they're all done through, like Stream Decks. I've got Stream Deck things. These things, you guys know what Stream Decks.
What about the Tell Me He's Dreaming? You haven't done that for a while.
Tell Me He's Dreaming.
Tell Me He's Dreaming. There you go.
Tell Me He's Dreaming. Yeah. Well, what you need to do, Rans, since I can't do that, is you need to do a PBC AI one like you did for your synth.
Yeah, the rubber stamp, it goes park bench compatible.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, we need the park bench compatible.
What will AI come up with that?
Stinger.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be a video though, Daren. So like, I've already got like these particular. Like when Daren's thinking, he's thinking a lot about stuff right now.
Yeah.
And in his brain, there's this sound.
I don't think I've seen that one before.
Shouldn't it be tumbleweed?
That's
No,
superb.
just kidding.
That is-
So we can do things like that. But that's done in vMix.
Yes. We need a little
The super
pipe
chats don't show unless they're 20, I think. Steve, I need to check on the settings. Alert box. I don't know where it is. I can't do it right now. I'm in the middle of the stream. But there is a setting somewhere where you can
There's a
probably.
threshold.
Yeah, there's a threshold. I don't know why.
That's not a challenge, by the way, Steve.
There you go. See. There you go.
Yeah, it works, Steve.
You guys got attitude there. I like
You
I
guys
like
are
the
having
little
too much
speech.
fun.
Ah,
Steve.
there it is. I can see it on the stream now. Nice smiley face. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, technology.
It's crazy, isn't it? And the chatbot's working. I don't know why it took a little while for it to start up. There is a cool feature on here that I was looking at today, and what I was actually thinking about running the quiz through it because it does have, it has like what do you call it? Mini games. It has mini games on there, and you can actually write your own mini game. And what I was actually thinking of doing, if I had time, was to script the quiz, the synth quiz, through it. So you know how you guys do the voting for the meme in the poll?
Yeah.
I could probably run it so that you guys can do your synth quiz votes through it as well, and that will register your votes, and they'll be able to actually see all the votes coming in and registered that way.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end, it would automatically pick who the winner is, or the winners are, and list them. So
I think we need a name for the chatbot. I don't like calling it chatbot. I want to call it something else.
yeah,
Derek or something. Huh?
well, it just comes out.
Derek.
It comes out as me, Derek, Nigel,
Yeah, Nigel. Yeah, yeah.
Nigel.
Nigel
Not
the
Bruce.
chatbot.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moog,
No, I don't
Bot
want
Moog. I like that.
No, we don't want it.
That's quite good.
The thing with the chatbot though, it's actually there's a couple of cool things in here that it does. Like you can actually do giveaways in here as well, and you can do giveaways based on I don't know how it's actually done this, but it actually keeps a record of everybody who's ever been in the live chat, whether it's on Twitch or YouTube, and how many minutes they've been watching the show for, and you actually get points. So, for example, if I go into the users here, you guys can't see this.
So we
but I
should
can-
have lots of points.
I can actually
I was
check
gonna say.
to see, where are we? I can check to see who has the most points. So, for example, Wagoo. Gee, that's not surprising. Wagoo has the most points at the moment, and he's watched 31 hours of streams since I've started the chatbot. Right, that's pretty decent, man. So it keeps records of that sort of stuff, and the points that you get you can use those points as currency, right? So the more you watch the show, you can use those points as currency that you can, bid on with giveaways and stuff like that. So for example, if we get a sponsor and we get something to give away on the show, we can you can put things like people who are channel members get 3 times the opportunities to vote as a giveaway, or a bid, or whatever you call it. What's the giveaway called? It's not a bid, it's called a ticket. You can get 3 times the opportunity as tickets if you're a channel member and things like that. So you can do all cool things like that. And the currency is the amount of hours or points you've earned from being on the show. So the more you watch, the more currency you get and the more opportunities you get. So I wouldn't mind actually doing this. I think it's a pretty cool thing where we can actually do giveaways. And the giveaway runs similar to the way the poll works. We can set up a raffle, for example, and run it during the show. and you guys can purchase tickets using, not with money, you purchase it with your currency, which is how many minutes you've watched the show for over the... Yeah.
Kind of gamifying, isn't it?
It's kind of gamifying, yeah.
It's gamifying, yeah.
Cool. But yeah, I'd need to get someone to sponsor the synth quiz section first, which we haven't got, and we also need to get someone to sponsor like a giveaway. But we wouldn't be able to do giveaways all the time, obviously, when people can send stuff in. So yeah, I could reach out to a couple of people that would be interested in it anyway. So. But there's some couple of ideas that you guys would probably be interested in. What's kind of surprising me is how popular the synth quiz has got. So
cool.
Yeah, people like it. I did like having the guest synth quiz person, which was Wagoo a couple of weeks ago. That was actually really cool. So, but Wagoo said to me that he actually prefers playing it than being the quiz master.
Yeah.
Bert, do you want to, as a prize, do you want to be the quiz master next week? That could be, that could be a prize I can give you. I mean,
only if
you want to. You don't have to, but if you do, all you have to do is send me a message via email or via socials or whatever, and just tell me what the 3 clues are. And no, he prefers playing. Okay, cool.
Fine, right.
Fair enough.
Everyone's quiet now.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like it's hard to come up with ideas. I mean, I'm going to run out of ideas eventually, so you guys are going to have to help me out with that. But yeah, I definitely think we're definitely overdue for a Name That Synths. It's been probably a month since the last one, so yeah. Exactly, James. It's all work. Imagine how much work we do to do this show. It's very, very.
We don't just sit here, do we? We don't just sit here every week.
No. It's
yeah, we do actually. Yeah. No, we don't.
No, maybe you guys do. But...
yeah. You guys do the work.
I'm doing research through the week. Going, is that something Rant is going to have on the show? I don't know. I better research it. Sometimes I do.
Yeah, do a bit.
Yeah, I miss Eddie's. Eddie's been busy doing his YouTube channel though, so we haven't seen him as much. I know he watches the show, so we do miss having him on. He
Actually,
does.
We only do that once a
on
month,
Saturdays as well,
and it's off the cuff usually. So it's yeah, but he's busy with work and stuff.
Wagoo's favourite synth quiz was the JDXA one with the green and red PCBs. That was tricky. Right. That one. Oh, he wants to do it. Yeah, send us in the 3 clues and the answer, because only I will have the answer, no one else.
Cool.
And and we'll put it on next week, and then you can be the quiz master.
Sweet.
And what he'll do is he'll send you the 3 clues, but he won't send you the.
He can do that if he wants. It doesn't worry me actually. I actually wouldn't mind playing.
Then you're playing along.
Yeah.
But I'll know what the 3 clues are, so I'll have a whole week of working out what they are. No, it's not going to work for me. It's better if I don't play. Good on you, Bert. What a good man. See, look at all these good people here. I won't be able to. Nah, I can't enter, man. I can't. Mr. Spong. I tell you what though, speaking of Mr. Spong, he's been pumping out a few of those pubs lately, hasn't he?
Afternoon pubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get to them because either completely the wrong time of the day because I'm in Slumberland, or they are during work and we just can't get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What's he working on?
What you have to do, Kent, is look at your multi-world clock and look at Perth and see, okay, yeah, it's a reasonable time. Ranzee should be awake. 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. He should be awake. I'm just kidding, mate. It's easier now because it's an extra hour. You guys, it's brilliant. Daren doesn't have to like scream back from work and get showered and get changed and jump on the show.
Yeah.
He's got an extra hour now.
I've got an extra hour, yeah, that's true. But I am coming back from work. But it's slightly easier having the extra hour. But even so, it's when you're getting up early, you're getting up. But Andy's up early. He's up early just for the love of it.
Yeah, I get an extra hour these days, which is good. The 5 a.m. thing
I
was
knew that.
brutal. So
I definitely knew that, Kent. You don't have to tell the world. It was something that I already knew, and now you've just told the world. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention is you guys remember how I went and saw New Order a couple of months ago. The other guy that split from New Order, his name's Peter Hook. He's the bass player. He's doing New Order songs and touring and stuff like that.
Is it Peter Hook and the Light?
Peter Hook and the Light.
Peter Hook and the Light. Yep.
In your neck of the woods, guys. So in the UK, he's touring right now, and he's relearnt all the Get Ready album songs. So that's, I don't know if you guys know much about New Order. Get Ready's the album that's got Crystal on it, and Slow Jam, which was used by Ford motorcars. Oh, my browser crashed again. Interesting. So yeah, if you're living in, I think he's doing Bristol, he's doing London, he's doing Manchester. So check him out. He's touring right now, I think. So
I've seen him. I saw him a few years ago when he first started doing the Light, and he's really good, actually.
Well, I mean, he's written some of those songs, so he's going to be good at it because he wrote them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, the other guys were just kind of adding their little bits and pieces to it, but he predominantly wrote some of those songs. So, I don't think he wrote Crystal though, but like Slow Jam, I'm pretty sure he wrote, which is amazing. Yeah. Anyway, so go check out Peter Hook and the Light if you can. I know it's not too expensive here. He's pretty cheap actually.
Yeah,
it's like a cheap gig to go to.
Quite reasonable. Yeah.
Where did I see it? He's got his website up. There you go. So April the 17th, he's at Marlborough Factory in Bristol. 18th, he's at Troxy in London. 19th, he's at the Victoria Warehouse in your neck of the woods, Daren.
Manchester. Scarborough Spa. Scarborough Spa is an interesting venue because it's outside.
Yeah.
But they get quite good people there.
So he does two halves, right? You know, you do the first half is all of the Get Ready songs that he wants to. I don't know if it's all of the whole album or just all of the songs, and then the second half is a mixture of other Joy Division and New Order songs. And then after that, he's going to Buffalo in the US, and then Las Vegas and Columbus. Does he get to Andy's neck of the woods? Let's see. Yep.
I don't know, but I haven't been paying attention.
41 quid's not bad, actually, is it? 41 quid a ticket. It's all right.
I reckon that's excellent. Then he's back in the UK in July. He goes to Chillfest and Tring. And then he goes to Ireland. Then he goes up high up Jamie's Blackpool, does Rebellion Festival. Jeez, he's all over the shop, eh? Goes to Greece, goes to Belgium, Germany. No, Australia though. He did come to Australia recently, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, definitely check him out.
Is he booking a lot of large venues or a lot of smaller things?
No, it's actually quite clever what he does. He kind of tries to find really kind of nice acoustic sounding places like a theatre or that will fit a couple of thousand people in it.
Particularly big.
Usually fits a couple of thousand people in those venues that he books out. I mean, it's not always able to do that, but when he went to Perth, Chris, a few years back, he booked out the Astor Theatre in what area is that called? Is it
South Perth? No,
Astor. Kind
that's
of
in
north.
Leederville.
No,
where is the Astor?
Beaumont Street or whatever it's called.
Northbridge, no.
Bit further north, Northbridge. Anyway, that part of the neck of the woods, right? I'm just trying to think of the name of the area, but I've forgotten.
Yeah, the one in Bristol he's playing is 1350 capacity.
1300.
So, Yeah, 1350.
Yeah, that's about normal for him. So the Astor fits where he played in Perth,
It's a-
2,000 people.
Yeah, it can be a nightclub sometimes because that's what they normally do with it.
But he usually goes to places, like I said, that have fairly decent acoustics because he's big on how it sounds. He's actually kind of
Audiophile.
He actually talks quite a bit on social media, and he talks about, really it's just all about him and his music and stuff like that. It's quite good, actually, quite engaging. So yeah, when I saw him in Perth, he picked the Astor. The Astor's kind of like an old, the old school cinemas that used to be around in the 70s and 80s. That these days they've got these big metropolis type cinemas now, with freaking recliner seats and all this sort of bullshit, 3D, 4D, all that crap. This is like the old school where you had the aisles down the middle, the comfy sort of velour chairs that fold up when you get out of them, that sort of thing. And you might have, if you're lucky, you might have had a cup holder.
The sticky floors from all those candy and soda spilled on them.
From the Maltesers. Yeah, that's it, mate.
Yeah.
So this place was like, it's quite high ceilings, right? So you standard sort of old-fashioned type cinema with the high ceilings, the curtains down the sides of the walls, so you're getting that dampening of the sound. You don't get any reverb. And it just sounds really good. Like, it just really, like, if you sat in a good spot, we usually try and sit in the middle somewhere. It just sounded so good. And I mean, it's loud and everything, but after a while you get used to it. Your ears, accustomed to the decibel, and then you start to enjoy it. And I mean, I'm nerd out when I go to concerts. Like, I like to look at what gear they're using and how good certain players are at certain, especially if you know the music, right? If you know the music well, you'll know whether someone's got the chords right or the sequence of notes right. So
absolutely,
yeah. I noticed when I saw New Order, like Bernard, he tends to play the song differently every time, but he plays he plays the main parts right, but then he might do a little embellish thing, and then he'll go back to the main part again. So he kind of does that, which is interesting. Sometimes it's annoying. You just want him to play it. But I can.
U2 does that a lot too. They change the lyrics in the middle of the song. They do like the riffs and stuff. Yeah,
I can understand. It's like being a chef, right? And say you're a famous Michelin star chef, and everyone goes to your restaurant and they ask you to make that. I don't know, say it's lasagna.
Exactly the same.
You have to make the lasagna every single time exactly the same. You can't do anything different. And he's probably dying. The chef's probably dying to try something new. And you can't because everyone's asking for this signature dish. It's a bit the same as a musician, isn't it? Because if you've, especially if you wrote the song 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you have to play it almost perfect. People don't mind if it's a little bit not perfect, but almost perfect, right? It's otherwise you get
it's
bad
another way of
reviews.
sort of showing you that you are definitely live because it's
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just catching up on chat.
Herbie
Babs
Hancock's birthday.
Oh, was he 80 yet? He'd be
85.
Oh, there you go.
I remember playing in a jazz rock band in the early 80s, playing some Herbie Hancock stuff. It was really hard to play.
Chris has gone black again.
He has. Come back, Chris. We love you.
He's off. He's gone. He's off.
Yeah. Welcome back again.
He's probably picking his nose,
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Having some weird buffering problems with my setup.
It's not weird descent. It's
No,
only your end.
my screen did refresh itself, which is weird. Not on vMix, on the main screen. Where the chatties are.
You're my favourite Beatle. Alan Parsons is my favourite Beatle.
I mean, all that
People don't get
all
that
stuff we've
reference.
had this week about, and all that stuff this week about the Beatles movies. You know, that's coming out in 2028. So it's
Is it
not
like
it was
AI?
next year.
Is it all AI?
No,
is it?
they've announced that there's going to be 4 biopics of the Beatles covering each individual member. But it's not for another 4 years.
Oh, so they're just making it now, basically.
Yeah, they're just starting now. Yeah, they've announced who the actors are.
The funny things is you see those memes where they show like Paul McCartney walking through crowds, and then there's some redhead guy with circular glasses on behind it, and they go, "Oh look, he's still alive! John Lennon's still alive! It's John!"
Yeah.
Well, people think Elvis is still alive, right?
Oh
He
my
just
God.
dropped
Oh
out of
yeah.
society.
Yeah, he's down the chip shop, isn't he?
Michael Jackson's still alive. Elvis is still alive.
That- One of my favorite Easter eggs on the
Michael Jackson.
Apple Newton was when
Is
you went
Michael
to the
Jackson
Global
still alive?
Find, and you'd say "Find Elvis" on the map app, and it said Elvis was last seen in Kentucky, and last seen here, and last seen there. So
Thank you very much.
If Michael Jackson's still alive, he should be in jail. That's controversial. Sorry.
Oh, Chris is gone again.
well, he did
Chris is
some
gone.
bad stuff.
That worked.
Yeah.
But I guess if Catholic priests can get
Last
away
thing
with
I
it,
did,
Michael
I'm going to
Jackson get away
remember
with it.
because that's the only thing
Yeah.
that worked.
They should be in jail too.
I'm not going to get into it.
Reload page. Okay.
No.
Well, I'm gonna have to go in a minute anyway. So
We actually we need to finish the stream. Yeah. There was
I
a
need to
little
get my car in and
a little thing I wanted to mention about Vangelis. Multi-track suggestion. If you guys have not heard that track, because it's off the album See You Around. Now, the interesting thing about Vangelis is he did albums and he did soundtracks. And he also did collaboration works as well, right? And so he never really... It was interesting. I don't know if it was the record company or him, but he never really classified the soundtracks as his albums. He used to sort of make it more like, well, I did this work for the movie or for whatever.
Oh, right.
But the albums were his actual albums. Like See You Around is actually one of his albums that he did. And anyway, listen to a track called Multi-Track Suggestion, and there's some real synthy sort of laughable things going on with the lyrics in that, which I don't know if you've never heard it, definitely check it out.
I've never heard it.
Well, it was a crime it took so long for an actual Blade Runner soundtrack release to come out, a proper release. It took forever.
Yeah.
And I've got the
that whole saga.
the triple album's really good. You know, with all the extra stuff on it.
Oh, the
yeah.
director's stuff.
Really directors. Yeah, it's got some really great stuff on it.
Yeah, Damask Rose is a cool track. I like that a lot.
It's bonkers, Ken. That multi-track suggestion
amazing.
track is complete bonkers. Like, anyway, it's funny. You'll hear the ring mod in the CS80 in it. It's complete bonkers.
It's quite a nuts album.
Yeah, it is. Well. It is. Yeah. It's complete bonkers. It's definitely worth listening. You'll get a crack up out of it. If you've got 5 minutes to spare, listen to multi-track suggestion. Yeah. And on that note, I think we're going to end the show, guys, because it's pumpkin time for me and Chris. Well, Chris will stay up for another 6 hours, but I won't.
Yeah.
I don't know how Chris does it, to be honest. His parents let him sleep in, I think.
Misspent youth. Yeah. Still spending it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone. Signing off. See you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Super Booth is coming soon, so got to be some interesting stuff coming out between now and then for sure. So
yeah.
Oh God.
Get your sequentials going. Good
Easter
night, everybody.
Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, no night.
It is Saturday. It is Easter Saturday.
Yeah. Easter Saturday.
Saturday.
Get your eggs ready.
Yeah, we'll be right. We'll still have a show. Bye all.
Yeah. See you later. Bye, everybody.
take care, everyone.